you pull the fucking shorts down.
Rip them down.
Jesus.
Stay in a kind of a wall squat type posture.
Yeah.
And
Just release shit.
I mean, that'd be a compliment if it was that.
Foreplay presented by Barstool Sports. We are in Scotland. It's been 2 days, I think. We're all kind of messed up from sleep. Thought we were going to get a great sleep last night. None of us really did. All kind of slept like shit. But Prestwick was our first experience, especially for you two, for Frankie and Trent, playing any Scottish golf. So we got a lot to talk about on that front. But yeah, we're kind of in I think we're in a better state than we were the other day when we did the podcast. Trotty carried us.
I'm in a worse state than I was yesterday, for sure. I am not like as
But I'm
alive.
talking Monday when we did the podcast.
Right,
Last
right.
time the folks that are listening heard
Yes.
from us, we were in a loopy, weird state after traveling all day.
Yes.
You got to be in a better place than you were then.
Yes. Slightly. I feel pretty tired right now.
Yeah, getting 10 hours the night before last was great. I think I ended up getting around 7 last night, but it was a bumpy 7.
Yeah, because you attempted, what, another 10 or 11?
Well, I went to bed at like 10:30, 11, and I fell asleep pretty much instantly, but then I woke up at 3, and I was just ready to go.
Right.
And I was like, no, we got to sleep a few more, and my body really fought it. We fought for 2.5 hours. And then I finally just went to sleep and slept until right before we did the podcast. So I got a few hours in, but it wasn't smooth. The 10 hours, I was barely alive. I barely had a heartbeat.
Yeah.
And last night I was just like, I can barely sleep.
Yeah, same
That's
way.
the difference.
Right.
Like, it was a good 10 hours versus like a bumpy 7. That's the difference.
100%.
I feel okay, but not. I feel better than I did when we first recorded the podcast. I don't feel as good as yesterday, but I feel fine.
How you doing, Frank?
It's an early wake up. It's an 8:30 podcast here. It's just early.
Yeah, it's 2:30 back home.
Yeah. I feel okay. I feel a little tired. I don't think I'm ever going to get rid of that. The whole trip. It's just going to be one of those trips.
You think you're gonna be tired of the whole trip?
Yeah, I don't think I'm going to make it up, but I think once we're out there, you feel pretty good. Like, obviously, we played our first true round of Scottish golf yesterday. We went to Prestwick, and halfway through that day, I was like, I just feel like a human being. I'm just out here golfing, and I feel really good. Didn't think about any of the travel.
Right.
None of that affected me out there. It's just like in the mornings and at night, I think I'm going to be pretty loopy and like out of it.
I think that's right.
I don't know what it is. It wasn't that much of a travel day. I mean, it was a crazy travel day. We were up for like 34 hours or whatever it was. But like, you're not going that far distance-wise where you would think that would fuck you up for a week. But I just think it's going to fuck me up for a week.
Good.
It was just 2 days. That's the problem.
Yeah.
Traveling was 2 days.
Yeah.
We left midday Sunday, and all day Sunday is pretty much gone traveling. All day Monday is gone traveling. And we were here by midday, like Monday. And then you're trying to get through that and stay awake so that you can like sleep. So that's all Sunday and Monday that are basically gone in your mind traveling. You're trying to sleep. You're in a weird spot. It's just been weird.
Yeah, it's
We were
strange.
trying to get used to it.
Yeah.
We do a whiskey tasting tonight. Hopefully that'll just put us all to sleep at like 9 o'clock.
Just crush us.
Yeah.
Whiskey tastings are like, how much whiskey can you truly taste? Has anybody done a whiskey tasting before?
No, I mean, I'll be honest. I'm not the biggest whiskey fan, so we'll see how that goes. I mean, I'm not going to be able to tell the difference between one drink and another, but
Me and
maybe
Jake
that's
Bass
what it
did a
is.
rum tasting one time.
Is it just you're drinking whiskey flights? Is that what you're doing?
Yeah, I mean, like, it's like, how many shooters of whiskey can you take before it's like, well, he's asleep?
Well, I'm going to puke. I puke with shots now. It's like a new thing. I left my own engagement party. I was the first person to leave my own engagement party because I puked.
Yeah, I'll say it's a lot. I'm like just mostly a beer drinker.
I'm going to
or
puke.
a truly drinker.
I puke now.
And I don't love the hard stuff, or I try to stay away from it as much as I can. And so now that's just we're going to a thing where that's exclusively what we're having.
You gotta like swash it around like a wine.
I'm going to puke at this
No,
thing.
I think that's the toughest thing to do with whiskey. I think you just got to get it down. But it's like you can't rip shooters or else you just get 4 of them.
This has always been my argument about whiskey is that people only enjoy it because it's a cultural thing, because it's like a man thing. Like, let's drink whiskey. And when it tastes like jet fuel. And the only reason you drink small amounts of it is because it's horrendous. Not a great lead up to a whiskey tasting, I will say.
No.
For the boys.
But
I
think,
don't disagree with you.
I think it's good with a cigar or something like that. Or like it is some sort of like,
That's okay.
I do. I like,
But you just said you can't keep it in your mouth, otherwise you want to vomit.
No. I just said you can't. I mean, you're just going to get blacked out if you have 15 of them. So
I
it's
agree
like
with you
if it's a
there.
whiskey tasting, you can't taste that many.
It's going to be interesting.
There's definitely people
I
in the
just
world
don't know
that
how they
like
run it.
whiskey. It's like it's
Yeah.
huge. It's a big drink.
It's big. People want to be a certain type of person.
Billy
Yeah.
told me that.
I don't think an old ass man sitting in his fucking little
He
rocking
can't
chair
taste anything.
cares.
He can barely
Okay.
see.
Billy was saying the guy behind us yesterday was like a family of like was it Bullmore whiskey? Is that right? I think so.
Don't
Yeah,
know.
huge whiskey family. I guess was playing right behind us. So we're in the whiskey culture.
Very much so. Tullamore.
Tullamore.
They like whiskey out here.
Yeah.
Whiskey tasting is an event. If you want to go to a sporting event or maybe a concert, anybody know how you could do that with last second ticket deals?
Sounds like probably game time.
The exclusive ticketing partner of Barstool Sports, who we work for and with. Gametime is a ticketing app that makes it easier than ever to score last-minute deals on tickets to sports, concerts, and shows that guarantee the lowest price. They crack the code on how to score deals on last-minute ticket deals. You can find MLB tickets for under $15 all in on Gametime. Yankees tickets are as low as $14, Red Sox $14, Mets $13, Braves $14, Cubs $12. You name your team, Gametime has the hookup on deals for you to get out to the ballpark. We might be using Gametime to get tickets to the Open Championship next week. Trying to charge us to get media credentials, which I've never seen before. Gotta work our
Trying
way
to
through
shake us down.
that. Yeah, trying to shake us down.
They know they got us over the barrel. They're like, but
think
we
so.
need those.
We have it.
They're like, we
Business
have all the
not good
power
over
That's-
here?
I think that's extortion.
I think they're like these foreigners are gonna have to pay to have media credentials. I've never heard.
I don't hate that actually.
Just
Yeah, me
scrapping
either. I like that angle.
RNA scrapping pennies together.
500 euros they try to charge us.
Per credential?
Yeah, I just applied for the one because at the time it was seeming like everybody was just going to go home, and I was
Yeah.
thinking about sticking around alone. So I sort of said like, oh yeah, I just need one credential, no big deal. Here's who I am, and they were like, yeah, it's 500 euros.
Sounds like 500 per to me.
Yeah, it does.
Wow.
Ain't cheap.
So I might need to go. I bet you a game time ticket to the Open Championship would be way cheaper than that,
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
more affordable.
What if the RNA put tickets up on the Game Time app?
What do they put credentials on there?
Yeah, media credentials.
They could
might.
charge.
Game time's pretty good.
They could charge a fortune for those. Just some guy who like
When you
won
think
the
about
lottery
the-
just out there.
And that's what they know.
Oh my god.
When you think about the access to these things, it's amazing they don't actually charge for that access. You know what I mean? I know, like
Now they're
every
getting-
job wants and needs to cover it. Like they don't have to give it for free.
Yeah, but
But it
they.
helps them.
I was just
I
saying,
know,
it's
they could also-
self-fulfilling sort of. I
It
feel
is
like.
self-fulfilling, but they also can make money off of it.
Maybe they're moving in that direction.
I think that
500
They are. I
per.
think you're
500
right.
per is starting to collect some.
I kind of like
PGA
it.
and the USGA is going to catch wind of this, and we're going to be paying out of pocket to
We're
go to
paying
US
10
Open.
grand to go.
It's
to
like
the
people aren't going to go and like they're going to be like, we have to cover it's the U.S. Open. Like, we have to pay it. You know what I mean? It's crazy. Like we
guess.
have to. Like our jobs mean like if we don't write an article about this thing and like interview
We're
people,
fired.
we're fucked. So it's like whatever it is, we have to just go. USGA needs to start charging.
No, no, we don't
They have to.
advocate for that.
The
absolutely have to.
majors they could. John Deere they just can't.
No,
Nobody's going.
They
So-
got. That's actually the opposite. They got to pay people to show up.
Here we go.
Right. So that's why it's free across the board.
Just we got 7 credentials in our email the other day for the John Deere Classic with $1,000 to Casey's General Store Pizza.
Fuck, if that's true, I would have gone.
Yeah, duh.
I would have not come out here.
Best part of Game Time, you get $20 off your first purchase. Download the Game Time app, go to the account tab to create a login and redeem code Fore for $20 off your first purchase. Terms apply. Download Game Time, last minute tickets, lowest price, guaranteed. That's code Fore, $20 off on Game Time. Quick update, I don't have any bags yet. Day 3 that we're here.
No sign of them.
No, I mean, they've just kind of given us the same update. I've been DMing with
Well, that's not true. Because
British
they were
Airways.
like, "We've got them," and then they gave a call and they're like, "We don't have them yesterday."
What? They keep
it's
doing
been a
that. No, it's
little
been the
teaser.
same update.
Oh, okay.
same update because you get a text message.
Yeah.
It's been like it's on this flight. Great. And then you get the next update like 4 hours later. It's like it's on this flight. And it's like, well, how could it be on both flights? That just means they just keep telling me that it's on a flight that it wasn't on. So we sent this driver to the airport at Glasgow like 5 different times. I mean, every time he goes to pick up somebody else, we ask him to check, and he checks, and he can't find it, and then they tell us it's there, but he says it's not there. So anyways, we're 2 days in. I have no bag, so 0 for 2. And I will say somebody tweeted at me yesterday just a Business Insider article that just said like thousands of travelers in shock as luggage is lost at Heathrow Luggage Mountain, they call it,
Oh boy,
which my stuff is at Heathrow.
It's on the mountain.
Luggage
it's
Mountain.
a great image in my head.
A
Just
mountain of
bags,
luggage.
just bags everywhere.
They painted that nicely. We all know what that means. It's just a gigantic room of lost luggage.
Just a
where-
conveyor belt that's just emptying bags in a room that nobody's addressing at all. They're like, oh, that missed a flight. Send it on conveyor belt 12 that just goes into just this gymnasium.
It actually reminds me of this. There's a dump, or there used to be. They moved it now just outside of Cedar Rapids, called Mount Trashmore, and it was just there was so much trash on the outside where people would go dump it that you could look in the distance and you could see it, and it was Mount Trashmore. And I'm picturing that at the Heathrow Airport with the luggage. People just go into this room and it's just a huge mountain of luggage. It's
and
like-
just thinking about how hopeless you are if your luggage is in that mountain.
right.
I've been there.
You've been there with United.
Yep.
And people have not been helping via Twitter. They've just been tweeting at me like, hey, Riggs, you better go buy everything you need because my stuff was lost like May 13th and I haven't seen it yet. I'm like, I've seen dozens of those tweets.
There's like missing persons posters all over, but it's luggage just on the side. Like this was my beloved piece of luggage and I lost it.
And they were saying, the caddies saying the same thing in Prestwick yesterday. Like, oh, it's been awful this year. Every group that comes in, they get somebody who doesn't get their bags the whole trip. I'm like, great.
It does kind of feel like overall plane travel is on the way out.
Oh, yeah. You got to just zap people around.
Right, like
teleportation
or take a boat, or there's going to be like individual private companies that only fly people. Plane travel, flying just seems to be going the wrong way.
It's
Cancels, delays, all these things, lost luggage, and I think people are just giving up in terms of the airlines.
well, I mean,
I just have an update
okay.
Wow.
from Ryan Lauder at TaylorMade Golf.
Okay,
Driver has your clubs with 4 exclamation points.
Wow.
Whoa.
that's big.
That's an insane turnaround because when it went to United, I would say I think my turnaround, we came back from Australia. Frankie touched my bag in Newark Airport.
That is huge.
Decided not to grab it. And then I think my bags were gone for 3 months in the Houston garbage land of bags. So that's an incredible turnaround.
I'll say I was DMing with British Airways, which I think made a huge difference.
Yeah. I mean, can't hurt.
Because you're just lost in this fucking circle. It's
Right.
just like we were talking about with the Delta.
And
You
it's
gotta-
like
with
the
app and
problem's
Delta.
so big that nobody knows how to solve an answer unless you get to somebody that's like impactful.
Yes.
Right?
That's right.
Unless you get a boss inside that's like, we need to find this bag, then you get nowhere because they're like, oh, that's in Trash Mountain. I don't even know how to solve that problem. It's so big. We're just going to keep putting trash in there.
Yeah.
And we were doing this, exactly. We were doing this yesterday. We were all trying to help. TaylorMade guys have been amazing and trying to help and talking to the driver. And we're trying to like make sure we film stuff and not miss stuff. But it's like, should I go to the airport? And they've been amazing. And then they were talking about like, we'll try to DM him. And I was like, I'm going to tweet at him. Because at some level, if it's like, what's the point in having Clout if you can't use Clout? It's like,
I suppose.
so if they're going to see it, it's like, that can't hurt.
You got to you got to burn it on luggage, but sometimes you got to do it.
True. But it's like,
You want it.
you
You're
need
playing-
it. It's like if there's a certain number of followers, it's going to make them be like, oh, we got to escalate this up from go fuck yourself to like somebody that can actually help.
It's like maybe.
Maybe.
It's more. It's
But it's better than
go
what
fuck
you
yourself.
had before. And so you tweet at them and then they DM you and then all of a sudden you get results. So it's worth it. I think it's worth the try sometimes.
I mean, you got clubs now. TaylorMade employee Mike Essie, who's been our guy, who's one of our great contacts there, and he's on this trip with us, and he's been working to get your luggage. As soon as you got that alert, we heard some rustling around. He's not staying in this lodge, is he?
No.
So he somehow looked like he had just woken up, and he came storming through that door and was like, "They got his clubs."
Yeah.
And I was like, "Yeah, we got the alert," and he was just like, he got out of here. He's like, just woke up.
How did
He's
that
been on
become
the
his
case.
job? You just gave him that job too?
No, they just have been, TaylorMade set this whole thing up.
Yeah.
For anyone who's listening who doesn't know, like everything, like with the whole itinerary, all the resorts, all the stops, everything. And so they've been hard on the case, and they are the ones that have the driver and the driver access.
Got it.
And they've basically been like,
We're going to do this.
yeah, like give us the information because they have all the contact with the folks here too. at
Got it.
Donato. Donato deals with this shit all the time.
Makes
So
sense.
their guys were like, we have a connect at British Airways.
Gotcha. They were the first inside scoop.
Totally. So Essie was like, give me all the baggage information. I'll talk to them. Those guys actually have a real person instead of just fucking hitting refresh on this stupid website that they give you.
I've seen it. Also,
Well, there was
that
one
website
moment
looks like it's
yesterday
from
where
1980.
Essie was on the phone with British Airways and just hitting one and saying baggage, and he looked like he was gonna probably jump into the ocean, being like, I don't know why I'm doing this. Like when you lose your bags, that's the worst part of losing your bags is getting them. And Essie for 24 hours had to deal with losing someone's bags.
Yeah.
So like shout out to him for having to deal
He's
with that.
phenomenal.
nice job,
There's like no reason why he had to sit there while instead of he worked all day and then couldn't even chip.
Yeah, but
You know
I
what
would say
mean?
like if it's like then I would have to like miss the round of golf to try to get him, or I'd be on
No,
the
I
phone
know,
the whole
but
But
time. It's like, what
afterwards,
can you do?
when he was just out here, he looked like he was on his last.
Under his
leg.
breath, he's
And
like,
that's
I
the
just
worst
don't know what
part.
the fuck I'm doing here. Like work for TaylorMade. It's just like I was like I don't know. Like it's just like it's a bad day because that's the worst part. Like,
Oh, yeah.
the absolute worst part.
No doubt.
Like when we were
We're
in fucking
abandoned.
Bandon, the guy just told me I'm not coming till tomorrow, and I had
like-
to deal with that.
we're like,
me.
sweet.
I was
Those were
like,
some
I
of the
talked
better
to him
messages.
physically. I was like, why? Why won't you come today?
just like,
And
I'm
he's
in a different state.
You know what? Not
Yeah.
coming up that way.
And it's also not part of the culture to hustle. So why don't you just chill out? Is basically
I was like, "Are you coming today?" He goes, "No." And we knew where they were. They were in his car.
Right.
They were, yeah.
He
He
had-
goes, "I'm just not coming today."
Right, he's like, I come up there twice a day. I already hit my quota.
like-
I'm going home.
He actually in the beginning goes, "I don't know how to break this to you, but I'm not coming."
Dude, that's some of my favorite messaging of all time. When that was the clear message that he's got the bags, but those bags are going back
It was a
to
deep
his
breath
home,
in the beginning. He's like,
so he can just go chill and have dinner that night
Yeah.
and be done with it. That's one of the all-time customer service messages.
and his like distance was not that far. He
No.
was like an hour and a half.
Yeah.
So he's like, "I can't make it up there tonight." I was just like, first of all, it's 11 o'clock in the morning.
You have all day.
It's his job. That was his job, which is unfortunate. But apparently, it wasn't his job. Like he like does the club a favor and goes picks them up. I don't fucking know.
Right.
Whatever. It's fucking crazy out here with these golf bags. They gotta just be better. Speaking of Team TaylorMade, I don't know how much we want to get into the round yesterday at Prestwick. I'm sure we're gonna get into it, but I did my TaylorMade Plus app. Well, Mike spent all
another
day
shout out,
doing.
Essie.
Yeah, Mike spent all day doing the My TaylorMade Plus app. Tracked every single one of my shots, and I have all these stats that are quite interesting and funny.
What's my favorite stat is how many fairways you hit yesterday?
I hit 2.
Oh, 2. I thought it was 1.
Yeah.
Okay.
But dude, you want to see, so the My TaylorMade Plus app is an all-encompassing everything in one app. You can get fitted, you can get a lesson, you can track your stats, you can track your actual round shot by shot.
Yeah, that was the big thing Trotty was saying. You can get fitted or like schedule or do it within the app.
Yeah,
which is
so
very cool.
you play around on the My TaylorMade Plus app, you upload it to the app, and you upload some swings. So usually you need like someone to help you like with some things. Like someone can take a video of one of your swings, you upload it all, and then a pro will watch it, give you notes, and then you'll go out and take a lesson based off of those notes. You'll video that as well. So it's really interactive. It really helps your game. So I have all that stuff from our first round at Prestwick. And I mean, you want to talk about a guy that just doesn't really know where it's going? These are my driving stats. This is just all off the tee. So I used a couple irons as well. Missed left 43.8%. Missed right 43.8%. Fairways hit 13.3%. So I'm just left, I'm right, and I'm very rarely down the middle. And then with my driver specifically, 50% missed right, 41% missed left, and 8% hitting the fairway.
Yikes,
So
man.
it's just
the
driving
two-way miss.
driving distance yesterday was 254 yards, but that was with I think I hit a 8-yard 7-iron off the second tee, topped it.
Yeah.
And yeah, I mean, I didn't hit it, in any hazards. I wasn't out of bounds ever. So there was a lot of just shots in the rough. And then, there's 13% fairways hit, 28% greens and regulation hit, and 33 putts yesterday. And this was all for an 88. It's
cool
so,
stats.
I mean, there's a lot of stats in there. I hit every single club in my bag.
Oh, that's cool.
Oh, wow.
Yep.
That kind of shows you the power of
Driver,
Scotland, too.
3-iron, 4-iron.
Yeah, we get it.
Yep.
All the way
everything.
through the
Well, I'm
wedges
saying even like
and
the
putter.
3-iron,
Right.
the hybrid.
Right.
Didn't have a 3-wood. So yeah,
You don't have a 3-wood?
I can't hit that one when I put the 3 hybrid, when I
Right.
put the 3-iron in.
Yeah. That makes sense.
I've got too many clubs in my bag this week.
Yeah. My guest came
Sorry,
up to me.
if
He
you
goes,
want to tell me I'm
We're
horrible.
going to drag you off the ground.
Essie came
so-
up to me and he goes, "You got 15 clubs in your bag." Under his breath, I'm like, first of all, I don't know why you're whispering that. And second of all, I'm just not. I was like, you can take the 3-wood and just throw it in whatever sea that is right there because I'm not hitting it out
Right.
here.
You
'Cause
just
if
gave-
there's never going to be a moment in Scotland where I hit a 3-wood.
No.
Because
tried
like
to hit
I'm
one
always
yesterday.
ripping driver into the wind,
Yeah,
or
that's
if it's downwind and I can't hit driver, I'm hitting an iron. Like there's never a moment where there's like that. Like yesterday, the guy was like, and we'll get into the whole round. We have to because that place is unbelievable. But at one point, he's like, "Oh, it's like a 220 shot or 240 shot," and handed me a 3-wood. And I was like, "Well, what's like the least amount I can do?" He's like, "Oh, you can hit it like 150." So I just hit like a fucking 5-iron, and we were fine. I'm never hitting a 3-wood out here. That's a promise to you.
Okay. Prestwick is great.
Yeah. And it's cool because it, like Prestwick, and I feel like in Scotland, it's just, I was talking about this with my caddy Billy. It's not like in the States where a 60-yard shot is just a 60-yard shot. You know, you just throw it up high, it just lands.
Not even close.
Every green is potentially a different 60-yard shot based on the setup of the green, how it's angled, that you want to play something different into it.
I would say to a 60-yard shot at Prestwick yesterday, if it was downwind, it was almost like you were a heavy favorite to miss the green.
Oh, yeah.
Anyone.
For sure.
Like, what were you going to do? It's like,
Especially if there was a hill in front or like a slope in front. It was just like,
so you're thinking like, even we were trying to be smart and like fly it barely onto the green, and it would hit and just rocket into the air and wasn't even close to staying on. Like it would go racing by the pin, and you're like, I mean, that was a pretty good shot. So then you're just kind of fucked.
I hit one of the best 8-irons of my life on 18, not to give too much away. And I just hit it so great, it landed pin high, and it rolled out of bounds off the back of the green.
gives a little away.
That was devastating.
It gives a little away, but I just want people to know that.
That video will come out in a few months.
Even
Yeah,
when I
they'll
hit a
be
great
ready.
shot, which I don't hit too many of them, although I played okay out there yesterday.
Caught it pure.
Dude, you flushed.
Caught it great, and it went too far, and right over the back of the green, 18 at Prestwick, is out of bounds. There's flowers over there. That's where I found my ball. Thing about Prestwick, to go back to the beginning, that was so great about it, and everybody should do it if they can when they come, is they make you so golf horny at the beginning. Because they take you through the history. The clubhouse is amazing. They show you the Claret jug. They show you the belt that was given out before the Claret jug was around. And it's just dripping with history. We talked a little bit about it when we were grabbing a flat white, the three of us up top.
Yeah,
They got binoculars.
Nice item in the flat white.
Yeah, I might try to get one at some
I
point
won't
today.
touch that one until
Yeah, we'll get to you in a second.
You can't be. Yeah, you got to do a different routine.
But I love old stuff. I don't like new
Start with
stuff.
the drive. I mean, we leave Dundonald at 10:30 or whatever it was, 10 o'clock.
Yep.
And then we make this, what was it, a 20-minute drive
Yeah,
over to
something like
Prestwick. And you finally got to see the town. Is it the town of Prestwick? What is the town? Ayrshire?
Ayrshire.
No, I think we go
no, I
away
think
from
it was
that.
Prestwick. I think we were in Prestwick.
So whatever town that
Prestwick
is,
Beach, maybe?
you're driving through and you're immediately, now you're in Europe and you're in the
Yeah.
UK.
You
You're
go
doing
past the red line
You're
or
doing the thing.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
You see the old cobblestone buildings. The town literally has like the dentist, the lawyer, the funeral home,
Hotel.
The hotel. It just says hotel on it.
Meat shop.
Meat shop, yeah, but yeah, it was like one was just called The Butcher, and it's
Right.
just like, are you kidding me? There's a place called The Butcher. It's nuts. Like that's the guy in town. That's the butcher right there. That's him. He's standing outside. He's drinking a coffee.
It's covered in blood.
He's covered in fucking blood and meat. Yeah, the town drive through was really eye opening, and then you pull into what's more of the town, and then there's a golf course in the middle of it. Like the buildings are right up against the 18th green. They're right there. Everything, people are walking their dog through the golf course. Everything about it felt like, oh shit, this is a fucking town and there's a golf course in it.
Yeah.
Which is everything you wanted it to be. Your first real, true Scotland experience. Prestwick had to be like a top choice.
Prestwick blew me away. Thought the history of it was, it's, so anybody who doesn't know, it's 1860, the first Open Championship ever was at Prestwick. First major championship of all time. This year is the 150th anniversary, so they're going to be doing a lot of stuff about the origins, and the reason it's 150th is because there's, for a lot of reasons, been different times where there just wasn't Open Championship. World Wars. I think young Tom Morris won the Open 3 years in a row, and the rule was that we're going to give away a championship belt every year. But if somebody wins it 3 years in a row, they just keep it forever. So they didn't have a prize.
They just stopped having the tournament.
So it took them a few years.
he's the guy.
We got to get a new prize.
Yep.
COVID a couple of years ago, obviously they didn't have an Open Championship. So, anyways, 150th, and when you go in, they do such a good job of embracing that history without it being gaudy or over the top. It's like you don't even really notice as you walk up to the clubhouse. The clubhouse is really cool. It's old school looking, but it doesn't like say anything in giant letter. You know, it's just sort of there. You walk in, it's got like a concierge almost right there when you roll in, who's got like a jacket and tie on. And then you just start to kind of piece it together, all the history. There's some really cool rooms with photos. There's only been, 7 head pros in history from 1860, 1851, whatever, at Prestwick till now. And David, our guy, was walking us around, telling us about a lot of the history.
And he's a young pro. Like, hearing that number, only
19
7
years in.
Yeah.
Right.
So
Hearing
it's
that
like-
number, you'd be like, oh, that guy's old as dirt. Like he's one of 7 since 1851.
Well, not really. I mean, the other guy could have just been.
But you would think like pros at golf clubs would last like 10, 12 years and like there'd be fucking 30 of them by now. And the fact that there's only 7, that each one has lasted. I mean, what's the average lifespan of work as a pro at Prestwick then?
40
So
years?
Club started what? You say 1851.
Yeah.
It's 100.
71 years.
171 divided by 7.
Yep.
Whatever that is. 24.
It's pretty long. It's a pretty
Damn right it is.
That's-
Average, too.
it's a pretty high average for 7 guys to be working at
amazing.
one place.
So
All of
cool.
them. You know what I mean?
I think that speaks to the history too, and why
It does.
people want to be there. And
Yeah.
obviously, the place treats people well.
like
and
never once was there like a guy who was there for like 6 years and they got rid. I mean, 20. How many?
Wow.
There was no who is that Pope? Benedict?
Oh,
Yeah, Benedict couldn't handle it.
was it Pope Benedict?
There was a Pope who was there for like a cup of coffee.
Yeah, I think it was Benedict because now it's Francis.
Yeah. Do you guys remember that Pope?
Yeah, he had the weird fucking butthole eyes.
Yeah, he did. And he was,
Was
like,
he the one that the 2 popes was based off of?
is that right?
Yeah,
Oh, I think you're
Right?
right.
Yeah.
On HBO.
Yeah.
I didn't end up watching that.
It's really
I heard
good.
it was great.
Really good.
But yeah, there was no Pope Benedict. Not to take ricochet shots at him, but he shouldn't have a great run.
He's probably gotten a lot of ricochet shots. Out of
Right, because when
for
you're
sure.
when you're Pope, that's like you're the Pope.
Right.
And
yeah.
you
I
have
think
it for a long.
He got kind of run out of there too. I think he deserves a lot of ricochet shots.
I believe he has this sketchy past.
Yeah,
Oh,
Something
bummer.
to do with Germany.
Yeah.
and just the way he
He
handled
does.
like a lot of the weird like things that happened.
I don't remember all
Yeah.
the details. I don't want to get.
You got to watch the 2
Yeah.
popes.
You start going after popes, you don't know what's going to happen.
Nah.
Right. That's
could
delete
handle 'em.
you off the planet.
We
kind
could
of
take 'em.
situation.
I think that a lot of people went after it more than we're going after.
That's true.
Big
True.
time.
The cool Pope now, everybody seems to be good with.
He's a nice
Yeah,
guy.
The cool Pope, the modern Pope mobile he rolls around
Modern,
in.
yeah. He's got a Twitter account.
Yeah, he does.
Yeah,
He tweets.
he does.
Just weighs in on stuff.
I think at one point he also said all dogs go to heaven, and people were like, we like that guy.
Yeah,
Didn't he like live tweet the World Cup one time or something?
Dude, Pope is interesting shit. Like, it doesn't matter what your religion is. It's the fact that there's like the Pope is
Right.
crazy.
pretty interesting. The Vatican, it's pretty nuts.
Yeah.
It is nuts. When we go to Italy, I'm
family,
definitely
in
going
a
to go
sense.
there.
Vatican, we got to go to the Vatican.
Definitely going to the Vatican.
St. Petersburg.
It's just
Basilica,
crazy.
is
It's
that
a
what it is?
crazy. You want to talk about history? It's just a crazy place. You know what I mean?
It's a town.
This history is insane. I was saying to someone yesterday that I'm not a big fan of golf course architecture. When it, maybe it was Bug for the video that we're doing. I was like, in the States, which is what I've been saying a lot here because a lot of people say in the States. In the States, I'm not a huge golf architecture nerd when it comes to like if I play a golf course and they're like the only reason this is cool is because it was built in fucking 1905 and then this guy made it, I'm like, all right, I'd rather just the views. We've gotten to that debate. But here, the fact that this is where all the templates come from. This is where golf was made.
Right.
Everything else is just a fucking copycat. Like this is it. This is where it was decided. I mean, the Open Championship, the first one was decided in a bar that we drove by, the Red Lion.
Yep.
Shout out to Cortland University that has a Red Lion there too.
So does Cedar Rapids, Iowa.
Fucking wild.
So is Vail, Colorado. They got a
Yeah,
Red
I mean,
Lion
it's just
bar.
the most common fucking bar name of all
I
time.
didn't realize that because I love the Red Lion back home where I'm from, and I was like, this is a special place.
They
And
had-
you go everywhere. And
Isn't
there's
there a Red Lion in Manhattan?
Yeah.
there is.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Red Lion,
they
they
do.
play live music at the Red Lion.
That was the
we
first
used to go to
spot.
like 80s night, didn't we?
Yeah, it's
That was the
unreal.
first bar I ever went to when I moved to New York.
Right
Really?
across from LPR. They
That's
fucking
right.
they fucking just sat in this bar. Was it 7 guys, 8 guys?
Yeah.
And they're like, we're just gonna. I think someone died.
Yeah, Alan Robinson died.
He was the best golf.
He was
59.
considered the best golfer in the world, and that was just conceded. So nobody even wanted to like have a contest for.
What was his name?
I think
Alan
Alan
Robinson.
Robertson.
Yep.
Alan Robertson, best golfer on the planet.
Yep.
Dies suddenly.
Mm-hmm.
They all have a meeting saying, "Well, now who's the best golfer?"
Now we gotta have the Open.
They have a meeting at the Red Lion.
And I believe old Tom Morris was Alan Robertson's protege.
He was.
Yeah.
And then they ended up having a massive split based on the golf ball. And Allen Robertson like created a new golf ball and like or endorsed somebody's new golf ball. And Old Tom Morris was making the old school golf ball and was like, fuck you. And then Allen Robertson dies. And like you're saying, then they all got together and we're like, well, I guess we have to figure out who's the best golfer in the world.
And then Old Tom Morris was the heavy favorite, and he loses the first one.
He blew it.
He blew it. He
blew
designed
it
the course.
like Willie
It was
Clark or something.
Right.
And they,
A forgotten name.
which
if we're being
Prestwick's
honest.
probably still rattled them out. They're like, we really
yeah.
want Old Tom Morris to have won that first.
I know.
12 holes.
Yeah.
12 holes.
Insane routing the way that we and at Prestwick yesterday there were a couple holes that were left as is, right? Like our 17th hole was left as is.
Parts of
right?
it. 17th is 100%.
And two.
And then,
The par 3 they were saying.
oh, that's the same? I didn't know.
My
if that
caddy
was the
said
same.
2 and 17 was
There's some
essentially
original greens that
they
are
haven't
combined
touched-
with other.
Yeah.
Like 16 green is original green, but the one tee box was different.
Yeah.
And so actually in late October, I think October 20th through the 28th, they're going back to the old 12-hole routing
Yeah.
for those dates,
Yeah.
which is pretty epic. So you saw some white circles around.
Didn't they say the caddies that week are going to be wearing like hard hats and fucking
That's
all
what they're
these
going to
things?
need for routing and
Yeah.
like
And
big,
like
yeah.
illuminated jackets.
Yeah.
The routing is interesting out there. Like it's
confusing
much.
now.
It's confusing now, and it's so much different than the States. Like I forget which hole it was where you finish up on the green and then you walk to the tee box to the next hole and you're hitting right over the green.
Yeah.
So everything is on top of each other, and I really like it. And to Frankie's point earlier, like I love the simplicity of all of it. Like we're saying 8 guys met at a bar because we just got to figure out who the best golfer is.
Yeah.
That is so cool to me. And the routing is so simple but awesome even still. Like if they were saying if you play Prestwick for the first time without a caddy, you will get lost.
Yeah.
You will not be able to figure out where the holes go. So you have to play with a caddy the first time.
I got a question for you.
Sure.
You were glowing after yesterday's round.
Yeah.
Was that your favorite golf course you've ever played?
It's definitely up there. I don't know about favorite, but man, it's pretty close. And like I said, they get you real horny up top, where you want to play. You go in these different rooms with all these pictures, and they're not level. Frankie was talking about that. You want to go in there with a level and level them all off.
I don't think I have diagnosed OCD, but it's definitely
That's
in
the
there
American.
where there's something in there that I looked at a couple of the frames. I'm like, they just got to fix these
It
frames
is funny
up.
the things that you and I are like we go different ways on. Like I love that they just it looks like they just went there and threw frames on the wall, and I love that. I love the just messiness of it.
Imperfect. Yeah.
Imperfect is great. So, but yeah, I would say it's got to be up there in my top 3.
Speaking of horny there, Trent, Roman. We got to talk about Roman real quick.
I need Roman if I play Prestwick again.
Oh, well, yeah.
Just make
You'd
it
be
last
lasting
longer.
You'd be lasting forever with Roman out
Yeah.
there. You would like to last longer. That's generally a goal when you're having sexual intercourse. Summer nights, a good TV show, an awesome concert, and perhaps playing Prestwick, something you'd like to last longer.
Yeah.
And sex. Well, Roman swipes allow you to last longer in bed. 340% better in bed. 340%. You don't see that kind of improvement all the time.
No. Get that out of your golf game.
Roman swipes.
Imagine we had a My TaylorMade Plus app for that. All the stats,
I would not want to see that.
That wouldn't be impressive.
No.
No, I don't think this group.
inserts.
He's tired
time
again.
spent.
His legs are tired again.
He's going down. He's going down.
His heart rate's at 180. He's not doing much.
Yeah, he's tapping out. He's tapping
He's
out.
making her do all the work.
Roman swipes are uniquely
You hit a
formulated-
new high level. 1 minute and 27 seconds.
With a 40% improvement, I'd be in there for almost 5 minutes.
Yeah.
Roman swipes are uniquely formulated to reduce overstimulation without eliminating sensation altogether. The more consistent you are with the swipes, the longer and better your sex will be. The swipes are super easy to use. Take out the swipe, apply, and let it dry for 5 minutes. Enjoy longer lasting sex and have yourself a good time. Go to GetRoman.com/4 to get your first month of swipes for just $5 when you choose a monthly plan. That's GetRoman.com/4. One thing that was interesting was that the original Open, they were played in October, and they played really in the winter, beginning of the winter out here, because they used all the sheep out here is the only way they could manicure the courses. And in the summer, the courses would just get overgrown, so they literally just couldn't play golf in the summer.
And David was saying that they would play like old Tom Morse would be in a heavy lamb jacket.
That's by far the most interesting part of the whole day when he said that.
That's crazy.
Because
Yeah.
we're talking about one of these holes that was like how long was that par 5?
575.
575-yard par 5. Is that how far it was
the
when they
opener?
played it?
Yes.
Okay.
That was the first hole.
With 570 or 530, either way.
So
it was,
570 something yards. They played this in fucking 1860. They're using what we saw, the Hickory clubs. They're called a spoon and whatever the hell. All these names of these golf clubs were insane. Also, there were a couple lefty clubs in there, which was stunning. It said 1860 player unknown. And then they had a bunch of other clubs that were golf clubs that were associated with certain players, and they had it all in this office. It was amazing. Anyway, they're using these fucking wooden clubs, the worst golf balls of all time. And when he said, you got to remember, it's fucking freezing out here, rainy, cloudy. Everything that he's wearing is wet and heavy. He's wearing wool jacket, and then he made a what did they make? There was an eagle from.
Was it young Tom Morris who made an
made
eagle? Made a three?
on that hole,
Made a 3.
Before there was ever a
I
birdie.
think it was a par 6 at the time, too. It was a super eagle.
which is fucking insane. Wearing that clothing, piping the ball that far. I mean, we couldn't do that with the new technology we have today. It's insane.
He said he hold it with like the spoon club from like 180, which is
fucking
basically
nuts.
their 3-wood. He just smoked it and it went in. And I think they said nobody ever made a 4 there ever, but he made a 3.
Yeah. It's just crazy, like how far they were hitting the golf ball with just what they had. It's really
Hitting
eye-opening.
it straight.
Straight.
I mean, we got a
What was his
look-alike
swing
ball
speed?
from our
What was
friends
old
at Taylor
Tom?
made.
What was old Tom Morris's swing speed in that wool jacket?
I bet his swing speed wasn't that bad, but I bet just like ball speed's way down
Way down.
because all the technology that goes with it. But swing speed, I bet he could swing it pretty fast. Fuck. It is funny too because we only think of old Tom Morris as just an old geezer.
Right.
Well, he
But
was.
But like
those
there was a
pictures are
time when
insane.
he was he was just
I
a
mean,
young
he grew
person.
up. He didn't just like come out of the womb.
That's what I mean. He's
at
not
80.
Benjamin Button. I
I
think
think he
was.
might have. Some of those guys just existed the way they were, you know?
Yeah.
They say that about Jim Furyk. Jim Furyk was always just like
Old.
46.
Yeah. Imagine young Jim Furyk. I can't do
Yeah,
it.
the other thing I think about all the time when I see all these old pictures and I look at all these like they had a group photo outside the clubhouse from like 1868 or whatever, and you're just looking at all these guys. I try and picture myself sitting in one of the seats and looking around like, what is that guy with that mustache and that crazy? They were just men back then. Like those guys were probably 12 and they looked like fucking 80 years old. So I try and picture that, and then also I try and picture the smell, and it probably smells fucking horrific.
But if everybody smells, nobody smells.
Yeah, bingo.
Like, did you think they didn't notice like how bad they actually smelled?
No, because
No.
not
Nobody was
maybe
smelling good.
Old Tom Morris just smelled fucking awful.
for sure, but they
All
all
that
smell
wool,
horrible.
that hair. He probably never took showers.
Like
or
you're
bathed.
used to people smelling
You
like
got bath. You don't even get the showers
Right.
back then. So
They
it's
probably
like
barely did it.
you're probably taking a bath once or twice a week if you're wealthy.
Ugh.
Before deodorant was introduced in the late 1800s, women used a combination of regular washing and copious amounts of perfume to combat body odor.
yeah,
Okay.
a lot of perfume.
And it
Well-
was viewed as masculine for men to smell like shit.
Yeah, dude.
Yeah, Musk.
I would have thrived.
There's a commercial. I think it's like an American Express commercial or something recently, and it was during Christmas, and I think it was like the ghost of the Christmas past, whatever, that took this guy back to like 1700 America or whatever it was, and they like dropped him on the street, and like he's there, and all the horses are going by, and then someone throws like a bucket of shit in front of him, and he's just like, oh my god, like this place fucking stinks. And that's the first time, it was like a couple months ago, that I really thought about how the earth just stunk like shit up until like recent times. Like it's modern for the earth to smell okay.
Yeah.
Does that make any sense?
Yes.
Like we just like dumped our shit in the street. And,
like plumbing. Whenever plumbing started, that's when the smells started to become better.
yeah, earth smelled horrific with humans on it
Right.
for a long time.
I think I could be wrong about this, but I think there's like something scientific about a men's body odor that like attracts mates. Like if
Oh.
like the
Yeah, it's
smell
pretty primal, I imagine.
primal. Yeah, that's
Yeah.
the word.
Right, yeah, definitely. Because, I mean, that's all you had for thousands and thousands and thousands of years. That was the difference.
Right.
It wasn't some fancy car or some nice dinner. It
Right.
was like,
And then some scientists like engineered what would be attractive to like the different gender, and they just made like perfume and cologne. You know what I mean? Like that
Yeah.
definitely
just
hits a
covered
part of your
yourself in
brain where you're like, oh, that's attractive.
It
And
is
they
funny to
just figured
think,
that out.
yeah.
It is funny to think that the only thing that's changed is the accessibility of it. But at the end of the day, we're just putting on odor under our arms just so it doesn't smell.
And we've just accepted that smells good.
Right.
Like their brains probably accepted that was the smell that's okay.
I don't
You
even
know
think
what I
they
mean?
thought about it.
Maybe that smelt good to them. Does
Right.
that make any sense?
I don't think it's. I don't. Maybe it didn't go one way or the other. I think it was just like this is what everybody's like.
Maybe
right now.
someone in the 1600s like smells like a Axe body spray now. Is like, oh,
Yeah.
that's insane. How do you smell that?
They'd be
all
like,
day?
that's alien to me.
Right. It just smells horrible to them.
Right.
Meanwhile, like they loved the smell of like poo poo on their fucking chest.
I think. Well, I think it was more bo, but maybe. I think shit's
I mean,
probably
if
always
they
smelled
loved
like
it, though,
shit.
then deodorant never would have been invented. You know what I mean? So there's definitely a little bit of like,
Yeah, that's true.
they had something in the back of their mind that was like, this isn't great.
Yeah, true.
You know, we'd love to improve this, and so
We gotta
that's
do
why
something
somebody
about
was
this.
like, let's just throw some like weird. I don't know what is deodorant. It's just like weird paint you put under your armpits.
So weird.
Paste.
Well, yeah,
I
fuse-
fucking
fuse
there was
the
a
bad stuff.
I used to do those facts all the time, and there was that one where it was like, why do we have bouquets? And it was because the it would mask the
smell of the
bride's
bride.
smell. She would hold fucking flowers as she walked down the aisle,
Right.
Oh.
and then when she went up to go get married, like the guy would smell like beautiful flowers instead of her disgusting like coochie and underarms.
Whoa.
Speaking of this shit talk is
Yeah.
it segues perfectly to you yesterday.
Oh, does it?
Yeah, I'll let you tell the story because
Yeah,
you
you
had
went
a
back in
first-
time.
Yeah, right, right. Which is what I said to somebody.
That's insane.
I'll let
Yeah,
you tell
I
the
was
story,
I was
but
playing the-
somebody was like, "Man, that's pretty disgusting out here." I was like, "That can't be the first time
Nope.
someone's taking a shit on the ground of Prestwick."
Yep.
The bottom fell out.
I lost my way.
Start from the beginning and tell your story.
So we have a really nice morning, as everybody's alluding to. A little bit of food, great lunch.
Amazing lunch.
Yeah.
Lunch was
Whoever said the
delicious.
food out here sucks, I think was wrong. The local food might suck, like the things
Right.
that they're known for. What is it, haddock? We haven't even tried
Haggis
haddock.
Fish and
and
chips.
haddock.
We haven't
Yeah.
tried it yet, so I can't say that it sucks. But we've heard bad things that like it's like an acquired taste. But they have regular food here. I got a tuna sandwich yesterday, and it was fucking phenomenal.
Yeah, I had a turkey BLT that was.
I
off
had
the
tuna
charts.
as well, and
We had fucking steaks and lamb chops last night.
Right.
Like this fucking place is sick.
and one of the people we were with, Lauren, who works with TaylorMade, she got a lobster roll.
Yeah, I mean, and there was
That
a Philly
looked good.
cheesesteak.
That
on-
lobster roll looked amazing.
Yeah,
good.
that was the number one item, I think.
There was a Philly cheesesteak at Prestwick Golf Club.
Barbuti got that.
Yeah,
I'll be honest, I was a little bummed there was a Philly cheesesteak.
I know.
Yeah.
Come on.
A little too modernized.
Yeah, let's not do that.
Fucking Roan and Smitty have influenced the fucking the home of
Prestwick.
golf.
Right.
Yeah.
Come on.
Get the Philly cheese. Just call it a cheesesteak, and I wouldn't have even noticed.
So we had all that.
So we had all that
And a flat white.
and a flat white, which is, I think, where everything went
What's a
wrong.
flat white?
Basically, just a hot coffee with milk in it, and it's all mixed
They
together, warmed up.
froth it.
Yeah, exactly. And
You enjoyed that? You're a black coffee guy.
I am, but I did enjoy the flat white.
I had one first time ever.
It was really nice. Like we just sat at that top table. And it's just a beautiful view that overlooks one and kind of coming back up to 18.
had binoculars up there.
Yeah, it's just a great setting, and you get into kind of like you're just like, man, I love the game of golf, and this is going to be so cool to play at Prestwick. So we're enjoying all of that. Little cookie. I'm like, oh man, this is just fantastic. And I go to the bathroom. I take a whiz. Trent comes in after me, and I can clearly see him going to stall. You know, one of the stalls. He's going number 2, safely and in the proper location.
Producer Jake's just making something and he's rustling around with some sort of bag.
What are you making back there?
What are you making? He's making some cereal.
Can you give me a glass of water if you get a chance? Thank you.
So, anyways,
It's an audio podcast.
They probably can't hear that.
I know.
No, they can't hear
I
that.
can't stop listening to it though.
We got ears. Yeah, we can hear
It's
it.
just fucking Rice Krispies going
there's
into
a lot of stuff crumbling back there for just one bowl of cereal.
Yeah.
All right. So I'm sitting on the bowl.
So you're sitting on the bowl, and I make a joke to you like, "Oh man, I should probably, maybe, but I think I'll be fine." And I go, "I hope the bottom doesn't fall out."
Yep.
And anyways, we get to the first tee. I'm feeling fine, making insanely beautiful swing on first tee box, just rip a forehand down the guts and hit a wedge 20 feet for birdie. I'm like, we're gonna have a round of golf today, and everybody's kind of putting around. I look at Trent and I go, "Ooh, the bottom might have just fallen out," and that's where you lose basically all your protection on what could potentially come next. It wasn't like I sharded. Yeah.
Point, I feel like.
So it was just kind of like a fart, but with some wet air.
You fart on the golf course a lot.
Yeah, I mean, I'm a gassy guy. Like
Yeah.
that's why I said back in the old times, I'd be,
Yeah.
women would flock to me based on my
Ladies' man.
Yeah. You do a lot of public farting.
Yeah, I think a golf
like
course
a-
is a pretty safe
It's
place.
stunning how much you publicly
It is,
fart.
and usually because
I don't
with
public
you,
fart ever. I'm a disgusting person. I
Yeah.
like to do things in the confines of my own home. I don't publicly fart.
I'm a
It's just-
PFer.
Like I have buddies that fart in fucking bars. I'm like, this is what the worst part of the world is. Like when you're in a bar and you smell a
That's how you pick up women back in the day. We just having a
smelly
ball.
fart. I'm like, who did that? And my buddy Rob be like, that was me. Be like, why did you choose to do that? You chose to do that. It didn't fall out of you. You like
Rob's a 10
literally.
out of
But if
10.
you keep it in, it hurts your stomach.
Right. Thanks.
That's
Dave.
how what everyone in a society is doing. We're
Everybody's
all
I got bad news for you. Everybody around you, they're farting.
yeah, but like
Everybody's
some
farting around
people
you.
are doing it like
You're sneaking a
outright.
few out.
Never.
Never?
Bro, I'm telling you, I have a fear of being caught doing it, and I refuse to do it.
What
I will
about
tell you
somebody
right now.
else?
I'll tell you right now, I've never farted in a bar.
Here's a
fact.
shocking side
I'll
story.
go to the bathroom and do it. I'll rip a fucking toot.
I was seeing this girl farted in her room after a really nice dinner first time. She screamed at me. Screamed at me. And that night, I left her apartment and we were done.
Yeah.
I couldn't believe that she screamed at me
It's
that
a wild
way.
move to rip a fart on the first date.
I
That's just
she was
wild.
cleaning
That's
like
so
she was
wild.
like finishing up upstairs or whatever.
You're way too public of a farter.
Her bedroom was downstairs.
It'll clear out.
I went down there. She was irate.
Eyes watering.
Oh my God, so pissed off. And I go, if you don't think, then this is just never going to work. And I just left the room. We were done that night.
I know it's human nature. We all fart. We all have gas. We all smell. I'm just saying you're actively.
Okay, I think the golf course is a safe place.
yeah.
Oh yeah, that was fine. What I'm about, yeah, what you're about to get to is fine. Like, oh, what you did, I think is just like nature.
No, farting on the golf course.
Yeah, but you're around guys. I don't want to hear
Right,
you
but you're
fucking farting
downwind,
all the
it just kinda
time.
goes
You're around
away.
guys. That's what they do.
Yeah, dudes are being dudes.
Yeah, it's like,
Farting all over the place.
and also you play golf at a time. Usually we play in the morning, where it's
Yeah.
like this is usually when I'm by myself. So it's like,
Just too many farts.
and by the way, that we got 5 dudes in this room right now. Somebody's definitely farted already.
No way.
I haven't yet.
No,
You?
I haven't.
Yeah, there you go.
That's insane behavior. Because you're releasing a bad smell to everyone around you. Why would you like choose to do that?
Oh, like I said before, it hurts your
Pretty good air
stomach if you keep it
filtration
in.
here.
Right.
Yeah. So, anyways, I look at Trent. I'm like, I think the bottom, and that's when I just had this kind of like wet fart air. It wasn't like a shart, and it definitely wasn't shit. But it was like I got an uncomfortable issue that I'm gonna have to solve. And then
What a delightful segment.
I get the 2 tee box, and I'm uncomfortable, and I got to keep these things pretty close together. These things meaning my cheeks, and
Your asshole was loose. At
it
this
just
point?
I didn't know
mean,
what could
you had no-
happen on a swing.
When you stepped up to the tee, were you at all worried that you had already left a mark back there? And when you were going to hit the tee shot, are we all going to be like, this guy shit his pants?
I wasn't, but I knew that I needed a couple bananas inside my system. You know what I mean? We needed to dry some things
Right.
up in there.
Lava was bubbling.
Yeah,
Potassium
exactly.
in there.
And so I shanked the ball right on 2. I don't know, eventually made maybe a triple, I think. And then we get to 3rd tee, and I cold top a hybrid. And then I hit a Healy kind of overcompensation blade up to the right. And then I just looked at the group and I go, Billy, is there any bathroom in the proximity out here? Because when you're out here, I mean, it is desolate.
You go out and you
Right,
don't come back
right,
till the end of the
right.
day.
There's no water out there.
there's no help out
I
there.
swear to God, that's the first round of golf I've ever played without taking a sip of water.
Yeah,
We walked
pretty bad.
15,000 steps.
Right.
They're just like, once you're out there, pal.
So he looked at me and said, "There's a porta-john kind of after maybe the 6th hole," and I said, "There's just no way that I can play, 3 more holes like this the way that I'm feeling." So I just cut tail. You guys went down the fairway. I turned around, found some weeds,
We went to the marsh.
high, exactly. There
made it a marsh.
there was a little stream near me, and
Not knowing what's in there. By the way, we're gonna need some answers on like the wildlife out here. Are there
Yeah.
like snakes?
Does wildlife come
Yeah,
up
I
here?
don't know those answers either because I was wondering when you're walking around, the grass is just high enough that it'd be perfect for snakes.
perfect. I agree.
So you go in there.
I go
you pull the
trampoline
fuck. You pull the fucking shorts out down.
Rip them down.
Jesus.
Stay in a kind of a wall squat type posture,
Yeah.
and
Just release shit.
I mean that'd be a compliment if it was that. It was more on the watery
Oatmeal.
side. Yeah, it was oatmeal.
Just fucking oatmeal
It wasn't.
coming out of you.
It wasn't a consistent.
Ugh.
And yeah, I'm not a dairy guy. I think that flat white just took what is in my stomach and just boiled it up, turned it into water, and I got that out. And then after, I was like, I went into the weeds because I was just ripping straw and wiping with that.
That's
Just
the worst part.
wiping. Oh, and like
Just take your
my butt's still itchy.
take your underwear off and use that.
So that's what Trotty said, but I didn't have that answer in my head. I should have.
the fact that you wiped your ass with fucking grass is insane.
I mean, and they were asking. E-Bug was asking me yesterday. I was like,
This is gonna be
Yeah, I mean,
awkward,
I've
but I'm
spent-
gonna go shit right now. I got shit. Okay,
"Go do it."
A lot of shit talk.
Wouldn't it-
Put you in the mood.
You guys gotta do Truebill,
Yeah, no, I
Sure.
got
and then
that.
talk about whatever you gotta talk about, and I'll be right back.
Sure. So then,
I'm gonna wipe with toilet paper.
Yeah, no, you're in a much. That's where you should be. Yeah. So then I was just ripping at straw. I mean, I did spend 30 days out in the wilderness at one point in my life. So there's a little. I'm not saying I'm a 30 days straight.
Too many.
So I do have some sort of history of like, okay, I can get myself through this.
I can't believe you're able to. I struggled with like 1-ply toilet paper. I can't believe you were able to consume anything on that straw, on that grass.
Yeah.
I don't know how you got any product on there.
There was product.
That's crazy to me.
Yeah.
It's like individual pieces of fucking grass. I don't know where's
There's-
it picking up. It's not like you got a leaf.
No. It was a little leafy. So,
Okay.
So there was a little leafy flower.
Okay, I'm picturing you're picking up
No,
little
no.
pieces of straw
No,
and
and
shoving them up your
it's-
asshole.
It's not like little pieces. I'm taking a bear claw handful
Okay.
of anything in that area, ripping it, and then, doing what I got to do to clean up. And from there on, I mean, I like didn't play that bad. I mean,
No,
I
you
was like
played
5
fantastic.
or 6 over in those 2 holes, and I didn't finish much more than that.
Any irritation?
For sure.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean,
Yeah, because now he's got grass on his ass. He's
Yeah.
got everything in
so
there.
then that was basically a hold me over until the 6th hole where there was the porta john there, and then I was able to really clean up with some toilet paper and really fix myself. And so from then on, I felt there was a little stream there that I could wash my hands, like that I just kind of dabbled in there and got the billy and got the towel on, and then I was able to get real soap on my hands though after.
That is as natural and primal as you're going to get, especially out here
Prestwick.
at Prestwick. I mean, you
You
took a
can't
shit,
tell me that
took a shit on the
lot of
grass and
people
washed your
take
hands in the
dumps out
creek.
there.
Like that's
old and young Tom Morris didn't fancy themselves a nice dump after
100%.
Now-
the second green, 3 tee box.
how
It's a
much.
good
How
spot.
much did you clean up your little area right there?
None.
That's fucked up. Because like
Dude, I was in the middle of nowhere. I trampled into an area that I would argue nobody's touched that
you
land.
better hope not.
Nobody's touched
You couldn't kick a little dirt over it or something.
Dude, nobody has touched that land in
That's inconsiderate. Someone's gonna step in your shit.
That's fertilizer.
yeah.
I
and
know, but,
honestly,
like,
it's
you're giving
it's
life to
probably
the land.
rained last night. That's all gone.
All right. I would like for you to just cover it up next time.
I will say, if it was closer to a trail or anything, I would have done something. But
Yeah.
then it's like, have some respect for others if you're just shitting on the trail. I mean, I was
You were in
the
it.
drone and there's footage. I felt pretty. I was.
Well, dude, at one point, Jake was filming
felt
you from a long
exposed.
way. But
Right.
then, like, I think Essie, who was doing, is it Essie or Essay?
Essie.
Okay, Essie, Mike Essie was like filming us all day on social, like on his phone. And at one point, he's like, "Oh, like I kind of felt bad, so I just kept walking." Like,
Yeah.
I was like, "No, this is the time. This is the only thing we should be filming out here today."
Did we fly the drone over him?
So I looked at the drone, which is this was some crazy
Bugs on top of me, dude.
What a
I
ridiculous
felt pretty exposed.
world we live in.
That's awesome.
Dude, it felt very like utopian and futuristic at one point where I looked at this drone that was flying in the air and I saw that the camera was looking at me and I pointed to the shitting area, and all of a sudden like the drone turns its head and just kind of looks over, which is literally Brendan like using his now virtual eyes to see what I was pointing at, and then once he locked on it, it went 100 miles an hour.
Yeah.
Boom! I felt like I was in a movie. Like, oh, those are the bad guys over there, and the drone was like, okay, and went to go get it.
Yeah.
I felt like I
weird.
was the bad guy and the drone was coming
You
at
were.
me.
Looking up,
You
shit
were.
in your
We've had
pants.
extensive conversations this trip about how we're going to get you and Bug walkie-talkies. So
I need
can-
a walkie-talkie. Yeah.
So you can start like
Can we
telling
get
them
that
where
today,
to go.
actually?
I don't know how we can get walkie-talkies out here. I don't know if Amazon comes up this high.
There's got to be some walkie-talkies on the grounds, like the.
You think
like
Bug
all-
wants that?
Yeah, I think he does. There's a lot of like the
super-
the maintenance crew definitely has them.
Yeah, true.
So maybe we can figure that out. But the only reason we want walkie-talkies is because we're filming such a high level production of a video today. Yesterday's footage is absolutely insane. We have a new piece of technology now with this new drone that we've got that zooms in, and essentially we have a TV tower shot of all of our swings. Like there's like
zoom in's awesome,
dude. Fucking
There's one of
Bug is
Riggs.
400 yards away and zooming in like he's in a TV tower or a blimp, and we're getting that shot where like from the tee box you can see. From the green, you can see the like trajectory of the ball coming towards the camera in the air. It's fucking awesome.
And it's not pixelated on the zoom.
It's not
incredible.
pixelated. It's 4K, 28 times zoom. It's amazing. So we've got that, but he always stands a hole ahead because he's the producer. He's trying to produce the whole entire thing. He's trying to drone. He's trying to get all the shots, and he's trying to get the balls landing on the green. The only problem is when you're 350 yards away, if something happens, like Lurk shits his pants and has to go into the woods. He's not like there to even see any of that happening. We can't even connect with him because he's using his phone to be the screen for the drone. So that's a little inside baseball right there. We're trying to get some fucking way.
Best content possible.
We're trying to get a way to contact him.
The drone is a great piece of technology. You know what else is also a great piece of technology?
Truebill.
Truebill.
How many subscriptions do you have? Do you even know the number?
I don't know personally, but my Truebill app definitely knows. It's probably like
That was the most eye-opening thing that they do is
Yeah.
like, this is exactly what you pay for. And this is how
Monthly
many times you
money
pay
out
for
the
it.
door.
Crazy.
And you're like, am I even using that app?
You know what else is pretty eye-opening is your monthly spend and the difference from month to month. For me, like furnishing a house and all this stuff, like,
Those are outliers.
oh my gosh, man, like this, like we finally have like slowed down the purchasing, and it was like you spent
99%
$1,700 this month on this card or whatever it is, and it's like that's 4,000% less than last month. Like, what did you do? Like, how are you surviving? It's like, well, no, we bought like the most useless stuff ever for the most money ever last month.
that's buying a house.
Yeah,
Couch Arrive?
yeah.
Yeah.
You know what the real bitch is these places called Home Goods and Home Sense and Hobby Lobby.
Home
we'll get
ripoff.
into it. We'll get into it. I mean, we don't have to get into it. It's gonna make me mad. It's just you walk in there, you spend all your money, and you don't even get anything.
Yeah, you want these
You get
throw
trinkets.
pillows?
You get a
trinkets.
bunch of wicker baskets.
You get trinkets and little knickknacks.
And now I live out there.
It's crazy town.
I live out there, and I didn't buy a house, but I am trying to furnish my place and make it look like some sort of adult lives there, because every other apartment I've ever lived in, a child lives there.
Yep.
And that's just who I am. But I go to these, it's at home, it's Home Goods, and you just wander these warehouses full of wicker baskets and pillows,
Candles,
and you spend
bullshit.
$500 and you have nothing to show for
And
it.
it's all browns and whites, and it's
Yeah.
all Chip and Joanna from the HGTV network.
Throw pillows
It's
should be
nuts.
the last thing anybody ever buys.
I got
It's
so many
just like-
pillows in my house upstairs. My bed's got 19 pillows on it.
Right. And then every night you got to get rid of these pillows and then put them back on. It's like, we should never buy throw pillows. Never.
I bought a couch, which I got a Truebill notification about because it was a large transaction.
You sure you
'Cause
want to
I-
do this? You
Yeah,
wanna
because
pay the plan?
it's
It
a-
alerts you on large transactions.
It does,
immediately.
and it came with so many pillows. I didn't send you a picture, but I ended up throwing out 80% of them because you can't even sit on the couch with all the pillows. But I did get a Truebill notification, which I like the large transaction one, just because it just shows me like you're spending a shit ton of money, but it's worth it.
Who are all these people just pillowing it up all day?
It's crazy. Just
What are they-
love all these
I
pillows.
legitimately,
Pillow
I don't know
We're
as a
not
culture
booming,
why
feels
we've
like.
figured out that, or why we've thought that pillows make things look better. It's just
Big
like
Pillow has gotten to all of us.
They have.
Yeah. Women love pillows. What is that?
I don't know.
I hate pillows.
I hate having too many subscriptions, and I use Truebill to cancel my subscriptions. It's the biggest feel-good moment that you can get with your money, where you're like, I now have $15 a month back that I didn't even know I was spending last month on the dumbest subscription of all time.
Because they make it super easy. In
Yep.
the past, you would have to go into your email, find the one where it's like you're subscribed, go through this whole thing where you got to email back and forth. Now with Truebill, you just press it, they're like, do you want to unsubscribe from this? And you say yes, and they do all the work.
They also have a variety of tools aside from that where you can create a monthly budget of expenses, track and evaluate saving goals, automated savings. You choose how much to put away weekly, which is really cool. It's just helping you financially. So don't fall for subscription scams. Start canceling today at truebill.com/4, F-O-R-E. That's truebill.com/4. Go right now. Truebill.com/4, F-O-R-E.
How do you feel, Riggs?
Oh, much better. Much better. Morning time's when this is going to happen.
Did the poopy talk make you poop?
No, I don't think so. I mean, potentially. I don't know if that's weird, but
It's a little childish. Like if you talk about poop or pee around the little kids, they go, I gotta go pee pee. Like stop holding your pee pee. It's because we're just talking about it. You know what I mean?
I guess so.
I mean,
it's not like I chose to then have to shit.
Yeah.
Is the thing. It's like if
It
you
had
just
to
have
go out.
You have to go.
Yeah.
But it felt nice.
good.
Yeah, toilet paper better than grass.
100%.
I think.
I mean, the toilet bowl is massive.
Yeah,
You know, we're talking about just the potty.
gotta have it.
It's huge.
Really good bathrooms in these
It
lodges.
was delightful.
Yeah, I like
So
At least it wasn't a hole. I was listening to it was
would have been better for me.
the hole in the holes are nasty because some things can pop out of them. What was that?
Oh,
who was it?
I thought you meant like digging a hole.
Mark Norman on Joe Rogan. They had the Shane Gillis and
Protect our parks.
yeah, and Ari Shafir, and they're talking about shitting in holes. I think it was in China or somewhere in Asia. I'm pretty sure. Yeah, and he was shitting in a hole, and it's just a hole in the ground, and like as he was shitting, just like cockroaches and all these fucking insects just come
yeah.
out once the dump hit the fucking water,
Right.
and it was just a nightmare coming up at your asshole.
I thought you meant like a self-dug hole where
No,
you just dig a
no.
little ditch
This is the hole
to
that,
cover
like,
it up. So you have
This is their
proper-
plumbing over there.
Yeah. No, that's
Our
I'm not-
weak stomach listeners are having a tough day.
Yeah,
Yeah.
You say cockroaches?
cockroaches.
You said it like Tony Montana.
A cockroach?
Cockroaches. That's what he said the first time.
I think I might have said cockroach.
Were you gonna say something about Tiger Woods?
I was, yeah. So Tiger Woods.
We good? We done on the shit talk?
I think-
We can move to Tiger Woods?
Yeah.
Okay, go ahead.
Tiger Woods did not play particularly well in the Pro-Am, but it's Pro-Am. Who cares? He did say, when asked, that basically the plan was always to play the Open Championship, that he prioritized his entire schedule around playing the Open Championship at St. Andrews, which I think we pretty much pegged and got all jacked up about in like February,
Early.
looking at the entire schedule. And then anything else was a bonus that he feels significantly stronger, better than he did at the PGA. And then it's all systems go. He rode a cart, I believe, a lot at the Pro-Am, and he was like, yeah, of course I rode a cart. Like, I'm just trying to save myself for the Open Championship. So quick updates on Tiger that basically he was prioritizing. He was focusing all year long on, I'm going to play at St. Andrews at the old course, where he's won twice by 8 shots and by 5 shots. I think that's very exciting.
What does not playing well mean? Like, what did he like? Is it?
She has shot 77, 74 or something.
Yeah, I mean that's not the best.
No, that's bad.
I want to say he
That's missing the
finished
cut.
39th out of like 50 pros or something.
Okay.
I'd like to see him playing a
There's
little
been
bit
worse.
better going into the Open. It's going to be a tough test out there at St. Andrews.
I saw a quote from him that I didn't see the video of it or the audio, so it was just written. So he could have said it in a way that was more like lighthearted. But if someone asked him, where are you going to play leading up to the Open to prepare? And he said, I'm not going to tell you because I don't want people out there watching me. And obviously I saw it in written form. So he could have just been like, I'm not going to tell you guys, I don't want people out there watching me. But it came off like, I don't want people watching me. It was the first time I'd seen him give an answer like that, where he's just like, he acknowledged that he is uber famous and he doesn't want people watching him all the time.
Yeah, I think it's probably understandable that he's just like, I'm not going to tell you my schedule.
He also took a picture with somebody in a bookstore and he looked unhappy.
did. You had to get booked for the
He
trip.
was in the thriller section.
At the bookstore?
Yeah.
Yeah. He just didn't look happy. He looked like a guy who was like, I'll pretend to be happy to take this picture. But also, you're Tiger Woods. You probably can't go to a bookstore.
Oh, I
Yeah.
can't believe he's going to a bookstore.
Sucks you can't go to a bookstore.
Also, he's not happy taking that photo. Like, what do you
No,
mean? Like,
he's pissed.
it's obvious. Like, it's just the most.
He's just kind of like,
yeah, because
They're also standing at a gap. Like the guy was like,
it's just we've seen it on a 1 trillionth small level where it's like you have to take the same picture and be the same happiness with all the people. Like you go to the Barstool Classic, whatever, because that person, it's their first time taking a picture with you. Tiger Woods has done that 1 trillion times. It's just like one time he's just like not happy to take that photo, and then we're all on the internet being like, this guy doesn't look happy to take this photo. It's like, dude, the guy's just picking out a book.
I get
that
what
1
you're
second.
I also understand what you're saying, Riggs, where I feel bad for him that he can't go to a bookstore, but he is super aware that he's Tiger Woods.
Yeah.
And I wish
Go
he
on
could,
Amazon.
I wish he could
Problem
go
is,
to
out
a
of a
bookstore.
billion photos, if there's one where he's not showing his teeth and he's like not smiling, everyone's like, "Oh, he's an asshole in that bookstore."
I
It's
don't
like,
think
Jesus
that. I don't think that
Christ.
was the takeaway. Is that what people are saying?
Well, no, a lot of people are like, Tiger's just like not happy to be with this guy, and it's
really?
just like, obviously.
yeah, those people are idiots. It's like,
I mean, we're literally talking about it right now. It was your takeaway.
Well, I was just saying, I that was my general feeling. I didn't know if that was everybody's general
Yeah.
feeling. I was just saying that, you Tiger Woods, you're going to a bookstore, you're gonna have to take a picture.
Yeah.
That's the way that it is.
Yeah, but
True.
That's reality.
I also don't think that's the end of the world. Like he goes, just takes a picture and then keeps looking for books.
Yeah.
If it happens 4 or 5 times, like,
He's not gonna be happy, but he's just gonna look at the camera.
yeah, I think so.
Like I'm looking for a book. If you want a picture, like take the picture now.
What books was he holding? I was trying to figure it out. I couldn't quite see.
I'm not
He was
sure.
holding like 2 books.
Was he?
I'd love to know what they were.
Too.
It's like, what is that book?
I bet you read some fucked up shit.
If
be
that,
honest.
if people
bet
figure
you he
out,
likes a thriller.
You think so? Oh yeah, just
Yeah.
like he should write a book. He should write a thriller.
I bet you he loved just a fiction thriller.
He'd write like a military fiction thriller.
Maybe he has under a pseudonym.
Top book is Strangers by Dean Koontz.
What is that? Whose book is that?
Strangers.
By Dean Koontz.
But whose book is that?
That was Tiger was holding.
Oh, he was holding it. Okay. I couldn't
was like,
see
where
it.
are we missing?
I thought he was just giving the top book in the world right now.
It was actually the pros at Prestwick's.
You're mad about the general Tiger people being mad about it.
We were just talking about. You asked what book was he holding, and he gave you the name of the book, and you said whose book.
I
was
thought
it?
you just said top book. You said top book. It's because he's holding 2 books. I get it now.
Top book like ranking. You were thinking.
Yeah, I was like, just in the world.
Why are you
That's pretty
telling us that,
interesting.
Dick Bass?
I thought that'd be the Bible.
Yeah, weird. Bible's usually way up there.
It's usually way up there. A lot of copies sold.
So, anyways, we got Tiger Woods. That's the latest update. Happy he's going to play. He seems like he's in good spirits. That's all good and
If
well.
you see him, let us know where he's at.
Yeah, especially a bookstore. Yeah, or golf course. We want to know.
Are hotels still doing Bibles?
Yes,
Yeah,
Really?
every single one.
I check them sometimes to see if there's any money or like ransom notes in there.
Ooh,
I haven't seen one in a while.
Because I've seen way too many movies where they put like money in the Bible, and they're like, "Oh, we'll just
Give it
make
to
the
nice
next
guy.
person happy." Like some criminal will do it.
Yeah.
I check them.
they do still do that. It's you pull that drawer open, it's in there.
I will.
It's definitely in there.
I don't know if we have one in here though.
No, I don't think so.
No,
You
I wonder
don't
if it's company policy because everywhere does it. It's
Imagine
weird.
how much they would save.
Right.
Like if Hilton Brands was like, we're done putting the Bibles
Like
in there.
that's actually a really good point. Like if you're a hotel company and you're like, how are we trying to cut corners, make a little bit more money? We cut out the Bibles. We save $5 million a year.
And then
Well,
you're
it's not like
like,
they're buying a new Bible every year.
They seem like pretty new Bibles, but I guess nobody's touching them.
no. Which is like, then why are we buying these things?
Right? Why are they in there? What started Bibles in hotel rooms? It's one of the weirder things that still happens.
Right.
Just like
Just, we got to have them.
It's probably at the point now where it's just would be such a potential negative story if you got rid of them. Right. That you have to just
right.
keep them.
Hilton cuts out Bibles.
Yeah. It's, like, you know how like there's a sneaky massive percentage of the country then that would be like, fuck Hilton.
Yeah.
that's so
You're
true.
out.
But it is
You're
funny.
the devil.
Yeah.
It
Gotta
is
go to
funny
Marriott.
like, if you're like starting a hotel, you're like, all right, we got the little bottles of shampoo, we got the pillows, we got the blankets. Oh, we got to get the Bibles. We still got to get the Bibles.
You
It's
gotta
like
get all
that's
the-
just an extra cost. Bibles in hotel rooms is very
You
interesting.
about 400 Bibles.
So many Bibles.
Oh my
It's a
God.
lot.
It's a ton of Bibles.
Do hotels get discounts on Bibles?
They probably got a Bible guy.
For sure.
Bible and bulk?
You're buying in that kind of bulk. Hilton setting up, another 100 hotels this year.
You're giving discounts on Bibles?
Why a Bible and not like what's it, like the Torah?
The Quran?
Quran.
What's a Torah? Is that no? That's wrong. Quran.
I don't know.
I'm not going to get into
Probably,
that.
I feel like our
Yeah.
country's more
Yeah.
where we're used to in the United States.
That's why I was
is more
interested.
If you're
See-
appealing to the percentages.
right.
Here come a couple dancing terms. Yeah.
No, it's just it's just facts.
Well, it was a good,
Tippity
yeah, it's a
tapping.
question.
Tippity tapping around. Let's talk about the Pope again.
Yeah. Let's get more into that guy.
Why wasn't Tiger happy taking that photo? Fucking asshole.
Billy Horschel went off on LIV golfers, called them hypocrites and liars. Defended the PGA Tour pretty hard. I saw Billy Horschel in the airport.
Really?
At London, in Heathrow.
Heathrow. You love Heathrow.
Right at the time when I guess my luggage was entering that mountain, I ran
Trash
into Billy
mountain.
Horschel, came darting across, saw me.
Oh, wow.
I was like, "What's up, bro?" And dapped me up. We had a nice hug, chatted for like 30 seconds, like a bro hug. Chatted for 30 seconds. I'll say he's been wearing that blue-ish hoodie nonstop because I saw him. I saw him in his presser that we're going to talk about. He's wearing that blue hoodie. And then when he was at the airport, I saw him. He was wearing the blue hoodie. And then I saw that he tweeted about his stay at like this new hotel in London all week, and he was wearing the blue hoodie and all the promo
It's his
photos.
hoodie.
He's been wearing it for like a week straight. Looks good in it.
He does.
But anyways, he was
I
asked
like
about
that our in-person meetings with Billy Horschel since the podcast have all gone pretty well.
very well.
I think great.
Yeah.
I love Billy Horschel now.
Yeah.
I'm not afraid to say that.
Me
He
either.
was great. A big old smile on his face.
Yeah.
He's like, "Where are you going? You playing golf?" I was like, "Yeah, we're going to Scotland a little early." He's like, "Unreal. I've been out here for like 2 weeks. I was in Munich, and then I'm in London. Figured I'd just stay over here, and then I'm going to play Scottish Open, and then Open Championship. You guys be out there? I was like, yeah, we'll probably be there Monday or Tuesday in St. Andrews. He's like, awesome, see you there. And then he just trotted off and went and ripped on LIV golfers, called them all hypocrites and liars, and basically framed it in a really interesting way that I hadn't heard yet, where he was like, look, anybody who is taking shots at Jay Monahan and the PGA Tour, you're also taking shots at us because we, the 200 members of the PGA Tour, are the PGA Tour. He was like, I'm the PGA Tour. The people that make up the decisions and contribute and are on the boards that ultimately decide what the PGA Tour is and how it goes is us. And he's like, so those guys are taking shots at us whenever they do that. And I think they're liars and hypocrites because they're not coming out and just saying, the truth. They're not coming out and telling everyone precisely why they're going. They're going over there and saying like, oh, we don't get listened to by the PGA Tour. He's like, what are you talking about? Like, everybody gets listened to. They obviously aren't going to enact every single thing that 200 people that are members want them to do because it'd be chaos, but they're listening, and that's why we have the tour, and that's why there's changes that are made. So these guys are liars and hypocrites.
It was funny that the one person who said that PGA Tour doesn't listen to us was Patrick Reed. Like, imagine those list of demands that he gave them, him and Justine. Like, it had to be some absurd shit on there.
Yeah.
So I thought that was funny. It is interesting to watch guys start to get fed up, and I think Billy even said it. He's like, I can't be diplomatic anymore. Like, I've been going through most of these things, and you give like, I respect everybody's decision, do whatever you can for the blah blah. Like, there's only so many times you can give that answer until you get to a guy like Billy. And also, do you see Freddie Couples' quotes from like a week or two ago? Those were very funny.
Strong.
I thought those were some of the best ones so far.
What all he said?
He said, well, he went after Phil. He was like, have you ever seen him look so stupid up there? He's just up there.
I did see him say, I'll never play golf with Phil Mickelson ever again.
He won't talk to him again. And then he took a shot at Pat Perez, being like, he's a dust of, what did he say? He's like a grain of dust in the wind on this tour. So he should be happy with whatever tour he plays for and whatever he gets wherever. So a couple guys are coming out now and just being like, this is how I feel about it. Obviously, people can feel differently, but people are probably sick of answering the same questions over and over and over again.
Yeah, you're right. That spot where Billy was like, I'm not going to be diplomatic about it anymore.
Yeah,
was I think just a little bit of a boiling point for several people, including Fred Couples and him, of just like, no, I'm just going to tell it how it is now. I'm sick and tired of being like, And he did say, he's like, I don't have any ill will, and I'm not friends with guys now that went over. But when it comes to professional sense, like, I think they're just being liars and hypocrites, and I'm going to just tell you what I think.
Yeah.
You took the money. It's like, that's the only answer.
It's interesting
It's
that
a fair
this
answer.
is the only situation in the history of sports where we're demanding that the players admit that they went for the money. Meanwhile, in every other sport, when a guy leaves his team or leaves his league and goes in a soccer league and leaves the Premier League and goes to the other guy or whatever, that's always just like the most generic fucking cookie cutter like agent answer of all time. Like, wanted a new experience, wanted a new jersey, wanted a new coach, the whole thing. It's just like, now we're like, how much money did you make and why did you go for it?
I think
Cano left the Yankees for like $100 extra million. Never once talked about the reason being an extra $100 million.
I think the reason is because there's a chance when like a baseball player does that what he's saying might be true. We know that they're lying this time. Like, we know.
Yeah.
Like, there's a chance that the guy legitimately, if he goes from one baseball team to other, he's just like, I need a fresh start. I've been there so long. I felt like we weren't doing the right things and I needed a new atmosphere. That might be true. When a guy says, who goes to LIV, I'm trying to grow the game, it's pretty clear that it's a lie. People don't like being lied to so bluntly.
Yeah.
And
They can accept maybe, I wanted to go somewhere else because I had worn out my welcome somewhere else. People don't like being flat lied to when it's pretty clear.
I think every guy is lying that went to LIV, even like the lower stage guys that are like just trying to win golf tournaments. Like, they see that they have a better chance to get over there.
I think them in particular, yeah. Because they definitely went for the money because they knew that they weren't going to make as much money here.
It's just safer. Like, James Piot
Yeah.
is like, has anybody even heard from him? I mean, like, everybody just knows he's now in LIV and like he's getting a check, but it's just safer dollars. I would though say, to your point, I feel like almost like when Tavares left, did he really get questioned or did he just talk about the next opportunity in Toronto?
Well, we offered him more money. He took less. Like, you know what I mean?
Right.
So that had nothing to do with it.
Right. But like,
Unfortunately, he just left.
right. But like, was he ever
just didn't wanna
questioned
play
on the
for
way
them.
out? Was he?
The money was never an issue.
No,
so
I know,
one
but
asked
like,
him that.
I'm just wondering.
I mean, we
in
were
any sense, was he interviewed about like why he left the Islanders?
Of course, dude. It was like the biggest decision in Islanders history. Like, that's the only thing he talked
All
about
right,
for
well,
a year. was the only thing he talked about after every single game. I mean, when he came back to the Coliseum, we like threw snakes on the ice and shit. It was like crazy.
Right.
It was like the biggest thing of all time. We're like, why did you leave? It makes no sense. We just got a new coach. We got we got a new GM. We have like good draft
Yeah,
picks.
I guess
got,
my
like,
thought is like you don't hear much of like
He
the
said,
players
like-
past.
he said he
experience.
walked
Usually
around
It's
his-
just like I'm excited about the next place.
He said he walked around his pool for 2 hours the minute before he had to submit his answer and didn't know if he was gonna be an Islander or a Maple Leaf. Like he talked about every moment. He actually like outlined minute to minute how he
Okay.
made his decision.
I feel like that's like an outlier. Then I feel like if somebody leaves a team, they don't get many questions of their past experience. It's always
I don't
like
know. They
the
always do
quote
like a
you
press
hear is,
conference. Like, why'd you like what was the
right?
decision?
I feel like those. And maybe
I also
I'm
think
wrong.
the teams are the team thing in a sport is different because the teams are relatively the same thing.
yeah.
This is not. This is completely different.
Yeah.
This is
we
a
don't know
rival,
enough
and
about
your
soccer,
contract.
but-
Like when you leave in American sports, like when you leave, it's because your contract was like up, and it's like now you have a decision to make. There was no contract that's up. These guys are members of the PGA Tour, and they chose to like cut it off, leave, and go to a rival tour.
Yeah,
That is like
Kovalchuk leaving the NHL and absolutely destroying the Devils and just going back to the KHL.
he got a lot of heat for that.
Yeah,
So yeah, I just think that part of it makes it pretty different, but yeah, it's
we're just like we demand them to be like, we need you to talk about the money. It's just the only time in like the history of sports that we've done it.
but it is because we know that that's why they win. None of this other stuff. Like you're not trying to play against the best players in the world. It's a worse field, significant.
Right.
Like
Right.
it's
Why
just
do you think
is.
that everyone needs the satisfaction of just hearing them say it? Just because we don't want to be lied to?
Yeah, because they're saying other things that we know just aren't true.
Yeah.
Like you're not going because it's fun and exciting. I don't think that's.
Right.
I don't think anyone's going for that reason.
And it's just like an obvious, like what DJ said. It's like just do that, and I don't think DJ's got much scrutiny. You know, it's just
Yeah.
I took the
Perez
175
says
million.
he
I'm
hit the
playing
lottery.
all left. This is what I'm doing left.
The only thing that made me, I was kidding, but the only thing that made me like LIV was watching Taylor Gooch give his Ryder Cup President's Cup answer. It was one of the better things I've ever seen. Especially saying it. What he said was out at the where were they? Portland. Portland. He was like, I've never played in a President's Cup or Ryder Cup, but I can't imagine it's a whole hell of a lot different than the crowds out here. He said it in front of Patrick Reed and Dustin Johnson. Dustin Johnson had to turn away because he was laughing. It's just putting guys in a position like that and then having them carry the water and drink the Kool-Aid so much where they say outlandish answers feels like a parody movie. And I love that part of it.
Yeah, DJ just looked to the side and was laughing.
That stuff to me is like, I never thought I'd see it in my lifetime where it was just like such a blatant like, gee golly, it's these crowds out here are pretty crazy. It feels like a Ryder Cup even though I've never played in one.
And I think there are like 5,000 people there total.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The first tee was insane though. They did
Yeah.
get the people going.
Yeah.
Definitely not a Ryder Cup or a President's Cup. But it's also similar to like when the worst team in the league and they do an interview in front of the fans at the last game. They're like, dude, we have the best fans in the world. I mean, everyone drinks the Kool-Aid when it talks about who they're getting paid from. I mean,
Yeah.
Taylor Gooch is not the first person to ever like prop up his
No.
employer ever or like
You
the
just
thing
rarely
that-
see his teammate laugh in his face after
Yeah.
he says it.
No, for sure.
That's why DJ's kind of the man.
Yeah. But like I remember sitting in the Coliseum like game 82, we like won 17 games that season.
Yeah.
And like Tavares would get on the fucking mic at center ice and be like, "You're the best fans in the league." Like there was 12 people there
Right.
being like, "That dude just doesn't believe any of this shit." Like obviously in Toronto, the fans at that point were like
better.
every night was a fucking biggest night of all time. Like, are you kidding me? It's just not the same.
Yeah.
We're not the same.
No.
No. Which is similar to like Taylor Gooch being like, it's probably the Ryder Cup here. Because
Right.
he's never experienced that. And he's like, oh, this is fucking unbelievable.
Right.
It's like, dude, there's actually guys playing the Ryder Cup. They're just actually experiencing it
DJ, which is so
10
funny.
times better.
DJ
Patrick-
Reed, who was
Captain
next-
America's standing right next to him.
Yeah.
He's just like,
Like, dude, I actually
boys,
done it.
That'd be funny if one of them was like, "This is not." The
it's
right
like,
way."
well, come on.
If
They
just
probably
couldn't
Taylor Gooch probably gave him like $2 million for that answer.
have- yeah, probably a big bonus comes in, little Wild Wednesday for him. Myrtle Beach, we're talking about golf trips right now. We're in Scotland. Golf trips are the coolest thing you could possibly do. Myrtle Beach, we're going to later this year. We're going to be talking and hyping that whole place up while we're there. Different than Scotland, a lot different offerings, beaches. They got all kinds of restaurants. We went to the Pirates Voyage. There's just a lot going on there in Myrtle Beach. It's the golf capital of the world. They got more golf courses there, over 70. They got the sandy white beaches, local breweries, hundreds of restaurant options, pretty much anything you could want to do. Myrtle Beach has it. Two of the courses you visit you must visit during a trip to Myrtle Beach. Caledonia Golf and Fish Club and True Blue Golf Club. The two courses are just across the street from each other and are considered the crown jewels of Myrtle Beach. You played either one of those before?
Both of them.
Great
courses. A lot of fun.
It's exciting.
70 courses in that small of an area is an insane number if you think about it.
Yeah.
Over 70 is a lot. Over 70 is a lot.
There's golf everywhere. There's so many courses.
Think about how much land is being used for golf there.
Right. It's
all of
like
it.
beachfront is all like hotels pretty much. And then you just come inland a little bit and you've got steakhouses and golf courses that just litter the land.
It's crazy.
It's insane.
The ultimate golf place.
Yeah.
The fun does not stop, boys and girls. Once you finish your round of golf at Caledonia and True Blue, the 19th hole overlooking the 18th green at Caledonia is a must. And with numerous restaurants, waterfront bars, fishing charters, and the beach all just minutes away, your most memorable golf trip awaits you in Myrtle Beach. Visit CaledoniaGolfVacations.com to plan your golf trip and be sure to let them know that Foreplay sent you. That's CaledoniaGolfVacations.com. Go plan a trip to Myrtle Beach and play a little bit of golf.
Oh,
yeah, Jake Bass.
Producer Jake Bass has a fun fact.
So Brendan and I stayed after the round yesterday, and Jamie, he helped organize the entire thing with Scotland. He told us that there's a run of golf here. I believe it's 11 courses or something like that, or it's 82 straight holes that you can walk. It's like 11 miles. And like the furthest distance from tee box to tee box is like 500 meters. So like in theory, you could play, I think he said like 82 holes straight.
Jesus.
It's like the courses like line up like that in Scotland.
That would be a long day.
11 miles.
Wow.
We walked 7 miles yesterday. I looked at my
Yeah,
phone.
11's not crazy.
Well, it's got to be 11 miles from beginning to end,
Yes.
and then 7 miles because we
You have
go
to get a
back,
pickup.
forth, back, forth, back.
We gotta
forth.
have cars picking us up.
Yeah.
we need some help.
Right.
I wonder how much it is when you actually play the courses. You know what I mean? Because like you go that way, you come back, you go that. Is it 11 miles? You think from beginning to end, but then you walk more miles within the middle? You understand what I'm saying?
I think, yes, I think I do, but the holes are going like in a straight line. So
Oh, I see.
instead of like on the coastline.
I missed
So
that
instead
part.
of kind of zigzagging like we
I
do to
see.
walk 7, it's just you're walking 11 miles.
I thought he was
straight.
saying there's 82 holes or whatever, 72 holes in the midst of 11 miles. And you know what I mean?
I think that is what he's saying. But it's in a straight line.
Yeah, I was thinking a
Yeah,
square.
it's on the box. Yeah. Because like yesterday we walked 7 miles.
That's
but we
crazy. Where the
finished
fuck is that?
20
Never
feet
heard of
from
that.
where we started. This would be walking
Right.
11 miles, and we'd be 11 miles from where we started.
Exactly. That's
Yeah.
what I was thinking.
We
think
worked
that's
through
right.
it.
I think that's right. You nailed that.
Thanks.
How about Perez
Thank you.
shot 80 in the final round and he made 900 grand?
Yeah.
And then he made a couple million because the team won.
Well, I'm saying he made 900 grand total.
Oh, he
I think
did?
He got, I think he made like 100 something for
Oh, okay.
the
Yeah, that's what it was.
prize, and then he got 750, which is I think the team splits 3 million between 4
That's
guys. or whatever.
insane.
So we made 750K for finished. He shot 80.
Yeah. That's like a T2 finish in a major.
Yeah, I mean it's
That's a team aspect, though.
Yeah. No, they're making money over there.
You
I
know?
think that's pretty
Ryan
evident.
Reeves doesn't score a fucking goal, but if they win, he gets a fucking
Right?
huge bonus and he gets
Yeah.
a fucking ring.
Well deserved.
Guy's in
Team
the
guy.
fucking press box.
Team
DJ
guy.
actually roasted him too. It was like they were doing the presser at the end, and they're asked DJ like, "Yeah, what was it?" He's like, "Well, we had a great team effort today. Like everybody played well except Pat." Pat's like, "I don't give a fuck."
Aside
I don't
from
give a
like
fuck.
that is cool that some part of golf is doing that. Like I would love to see that over here, where like a guy has a bad day and his team picked him up. I love that shit.
Right.
You know what
It's
I
like
mean?
doing a project, the guy does nothing.
Yeah, but that is team sports.
Definitely.
Guy has a bad game, still wins. The guys pick him up. They fucking rally around him. Like next game, you got it. I kind of like that. A part of golf is there.
The Aces. You a huge Aces fan?
No, I don't give
Get a
fuck.
hat, dude. Get
I
an
want to get a
Aces
fucking
hat.
Aces hat.
Fuck, man.
I saw our guy Kessler Crane, who's Reed's cat. He just was pumping the Aces on his Instagram story. It made me laugh out loud every time.
They got the trophy that no one has ever seen before. That they're just like they're carrying around like it's a Stanley Cup.
Yep.
They're taking pictures. They're drinking next to it. They're in. Man.
He was on the
There's
plane. He
another
had like
200
the
grand
sideways. He had like the sideways Aces hat. Was like, "Let's go Aces!" And was like doing just like they're all geared up.
It's the worst name of sports.
The Aces.
Four Aces. Is that what
Each
it's
one
called?
of the names is pretty bad over there. It's like just team 1, team 2. It's DJ's team.
It should just be legit and just be fucking
The PGA
brands.
It should be brands for sure.
Tour. Yeah.
I think
I think
eventually
eventually
it
it will
will
be.
be.
Yeah.
I think that's their plan.
That's their hopeful goal.
I saw Dylan DeChair was tweeting quite a bit about the misconception that LIV Golf doesn't have any plan to be profitable. And he was touting a lot of like they want to go the Formula One route. They want to eventually have each team that is sort of owned by a brand.
Right.
They obviously want to be on television with media deals, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera.
Yeah.
So who knows?
That's a long play, I would say.
hell of a
Based on the
journey.
way they're spending money, I would say
It's a hell of
that's
a
the
journey.
long game.
Perez shot 80, and then you just gave him $1 million. It's like, oh boy, that's a bold. I loved seeing all the guys over in Scotland. They had or over in the UK. Spieth, JT, and Ricky were out in Ireland 2 or 3 days ago, and they just a bunch of footage came out of them having like pints of Guinness, walking down the fairway.
That was cool.
Yeah.
Hanging
Just
with
a
the
buddies trip.
locals.
It looked awesome.
I thought that was fucking awesome.
It's also cool to see JT and all them like posting photos on their Instagram of a golf course.
yeah,
It's just a little weird to see it. You know what I mean? Because they live on a golf course and they play
doing
the
like
best-
the same thing we do.
Yeah, like JT posts a picture of like the clubhouse and being like, "What a place!" and like just a random like fairway and green. You know what I mean? It's just
He's
like,
doing
wow,
what we do.
that dude's just like a 28-year-old fucking guy playing golf on a golf trip in Ireland. It's pretty cool.
I wonder
American
if
players-
they get more space over here. You know what I mean? So it feels more special. They go to American course and 1,000 people show up. You're telling your buddies that like, oh, JT's here. We're here. Maybe they get to just kind of like walk around and enjoy it a little bit more.
Plus, JT just has his rotation of courses that he goes to, right? He
Right.
probably just plays at home, and then he's got one in California. Probably he just hits his certain ones. Here, he gets to play a place he never gets to play ever. You can't do that. I feel like you can only do that very rarely in the United States for one of these guys. You know what I mean? You can't just show up to like a destination place.
No.
JT can't go to like Bandon, can he?
No.
It'd be chaos.
No, I think you can.
You can?
Yeah, because you're really only with your group. I mean, yeah, when you're at the clubhouse, it's probably a little bit of a disaster. But like
Yeah.
the rest of the time, you're just with 3 other people for the
Yeah.
most part. You know
Yeah,
what I
you
Mm-hmm.
mean?
get Bannon though. Like,
Do they
the
do that?
food's
Have
all
guys
on
like
site.
that ever
Food-
played?
I know Homo went to, I mean, he's not as big as those guys, but I know he went to Bandon for, I want to say like his, I don't know if it was his bachelor party or birthday or something. A few
nice.
years ago, he like literally went to Bandon with a bunch of guys.
That's pretty awesome.
Yeah, I think it had a group of like 8, and they just went to Bandon like a year and a half, 2 years ago, something
Wow.
like that. Sweet. Or maybe within the last year, something along those lines. But he's all, yeah, I mean, like Tiger can't do it. Rory, I don't know that he could do it.
Yeah, because it's just like it's the ultimate golf destination. So all the golfers that would be diehard fans of
Yeah.
the guy showing up, it would be like Steph Curry playing the Barstool Classic in the Bay Area. It's like it's insane. It's an
Yeah.
insane decision to be like, you're just gonna show up here
It is, but
crazy.
then again, Steph Curry during the round is like pretty much just with
He
his
was.
boys that he's there
until
with,
people
you
found
know?
out he was there, and then they were like
Yeah.
driving up the beach and like running onto the golf course and like taking
Yeah.
pictures of them.
I do
So-
think,
and
I don't
then he
know.
literally like ran out of there.
I have no evidence to back it up, but I feel like guys like JT and Spieth and Ricky, when they come here, they just have a little bit more breathing room.
They have
Yeah,
to.
it feels
Yeah.
that way.
Yeah.
Everyone here is just more polite and like they let people do what they want.
it's-
And proper.
It's more pure, like,
Yeah.
and like whether or not like traditional, whatever, but it does seem like they would leave those guys alone as opposed to America. People just want autographs.
Definitely.
Yeah.
And it's not to say that they don't know who like they're bigger golf fans than we are.
People
They-
definitely know who they
They
are.
know exactly what's going on. They're just a little more like, yeah, go enjoy our place, as opposed to
Yeah,
us.
the
We're like, I want
culture's
a
way
fucking
different.
picture.
We're just
Right.
more
I want to
obnoxious.
touch you.
yeah,
Like the American culture is, I
I
want to
want
get
it.
as
I want to touch
close
him.
as possible.
Oh yeah,
to
we're
people.
we're
Wait,
born
don't-
from that.
I want
Right.
to touch him.
Where like I feel like it's like go.
A
enjoy
lot
your
of
round,
our
have
a lot
fun
of our
time.
brand is built on us hanging out with Tiger Woods.
We just like to touch him.
Totally.
Just fucking high fives
Right.
and dap ups and fucking how you doing?
If I saw him in a bookstore, I'd take a picture of him with him.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Tiger, what's up?
Caption be like, why the fuck was he so mad?
Why is this guy mad? He's Tiger Woods. Come on.
Should
We're
be
supposed to
happy
have a
all the
good
time running into strangers.
He took a picture of me.
Yeah, come on. Be happy.
From the gallery, we got a couple quick from the galleries to go through, brought to you by Truly Hard Seltzer. Truly, if you don't know what Truly is, we just mentioned Barstool Classic. They've been the title sponsor for 4 straight years. Thank you to Truly for that. They're a clean, crisp, refreshing hard seltzer with a hint of fruit. Over 30 flavors now at this point. 30 they've come up
Wow.
with. So there's something for everyone. The wild berry is probably my original favorite. Still
What's
up
that
there.
hibiscus one that we did with Nate Shot?
Strawberry hibiscus.
Strawberry hibiscus?
Oh, that
really
one's
good.
Really, really good. All cans have under 110 calories, 1 gram of sugar, and naturally gluten-free. Find Truly Hard Seltzer near you at trulyhardseltzer.com. Again, they got over 30 flavors. They sponsor from the gallery. They're all over the Barstool Classic. People have a great time drinking Trulies all day. So go get them. Go check them out, trulyhardseltzer.com. Kyle says, thoughts on LIV doing a novelty event such as a Hickory Club tournament?
Be awesome.
I could see them doing something like that. That is one
anyone
of the cool
doing
parts.
a Hickory event would be unbelievable.
it'd be
Yeah, but
so
like the
cool.
tour would never do it, right?
No, of course
Whereas
not.
like
No.
they LIV, like they don't seem to give a fuck.
The tour, I think, did like one hole, right? Like I forget what
Yeah, it's
tournament
like a
it was.
promo.
Yeah, it was like the Travelers or something, and like on like the 12th hole or something. This was a couple years ago. They made guys do like different shit. Like they all hit with like a Hickory club off the tee to see. Like,
But
how
on
far
like
they-
Wednesday.
Yeah, it
Yeah,
was like
yeah.
a Wednesday.
Yeah.
Definitely not a tour.
But like an
It
event
was so
would
cool
be
to see
epic.
like how far they hit it though in that one shot.
Right.
Your reaction to the tour maybe doing a Hickory Club event is their problem.
Correct.
Right.
I agree with that.
100%.
Where it's like
Because you're
LIV-
right, but they need to do shit like that.
Yes, and I think that they're
That'd be
behind.
unbelievable.
They're
dude.
behind on not having done that.
PGA
You know?
Tour is boring. It's like that would make it fun.
Yeah, if they did, I don't know that it would have to be the entire tournament or something. Maybe it could be. I mean, I don't know why it couldn't be. I guess at this point, where
Maybe
it's
do
like,
a 1 day tournament or
Yeah.
something.
yeah, but the LIV, I could literally see LIV just doing it. I mean, 54
They should
holes.
do it out here. They should do it
100%.
at fucking Prestwick and do 12 holes.
If they just did the course and it was like-
imagine how hard we'd watch that. I'd watch
Be
that
must
hard.
watch.
And with the PGA Tour field, I don't care about like I want like the real deal guys. I want Justin Thomas and Tony Finau. I want Homa. I want Tiger Woods out there with a fucking Hickory Club playing 12 holes, seeing who's the best with just their skill, no help at all.
Yeah, if
You
they
got to
played
take those
the
clubs off the wall, hitting the spoon.
they played the original layout of Prestwick,
for the Open.
and they played a 4-round. Like you could do 2 rounds a day because it'd be 24 holes. You could just do 2 rounds a day, and you could just have. They could invite, the top 24 golfers in the world or something like that.
Amazing.
It's funny that the answer to that happening is make the purse huge.
Right. That's true. That's why they would do it.
You know?
Which is what LIV's doing.
That's what I
Yeah.
mean.
Yeah.
You just gotta we want them to do it because it'd be fun to watch. They want to do it because
$50 million purse. Come
right,
on.
and because they might get embarrassed on some shots and they don't like that. So you'd have to have it financially.
$50 million.
Yeah, you got to make it worth it. You got to make it
It is
worth
funny the more you talk about like good ideas for golf and like where it could go and all these things, like it is falling into like what LIV is trying to do. It's just it's horrifically backed money and all this stuff and all the atrocities and all that. It's just I've been trying to play the other side of it because I do think that there is a part of it that is trying to do things that are cool for golf.
Yeah, and I agree
genuinely
with that.
do think
Because
that.
a few weeks ago, I think we talked about it and basically said like, not everyone that's involved in LIV is a bad actor.
Yeah.
Like it actually could just be one person, but that's the person behind it, and that one guy that works for MBS. That's like the I can't remember what his name is, but he's the guy that like Phil hugged at the
Yeah.
first event.
Yeah, I
that,
can't
whatever.
remember his name
Like
either.
it might just be after him, everyone he's hired is actually trying to make golf cool over
Yeah.
there. Like everyone that they're hired, from the people in the broadcast to the logistics folks to the people hyping up the first tee and the fans and the format and like all that could legitimately be true, and I think it is true to a
Yeah.
degree. It's just tough when it's based solely on money.
Yeah.
Which sucks because it's
Which
like
everybody's getting paid from that
you
money,
lose a
so
lot of the
it's like-
passion. You
right.
lose a lot of the like. They're not there to grow their legacy. There is no legacy. We're making fun of the fucking aces. It's
They're
just
trying to create the legacy. I
totally,
get
which
that,
you have to
which
start
is the
somewhere.
long-term game.
And maybe someday we'll look
But-
back and like be like, how wrong were we? They like created this thing 15 years ago. That's amazing, but I doubt it.
Hickory
is-
tournaments all the time.
It is
It would be great.
It is tough now because golf has gotten so big that regardless of the governing body, regardless of who's backing it, money is the motivator.
Yep.
Golf has gotten so big. It's not like we're starting in 1860, 1851, whatever, at Prestwick, where like there's nothing except passion for it. So now the game has grown so much and the money has gotten so huge that nothing's going to move these guys except money.
But that's just an American sport. So I think that I think our perspective isn't broad enough to understand this has been happening in other sports for a long time. Formula One has been getting guys just taken away from their teams and brought to other teams with just outrageously big contracts. Soccer, I mean, guys would go from different leagues based on like the owner giving them like ownership rights to their teams. And like, like, I mean, Ronaldo's been moved and all these guys have just been like, Messi's been moved. It's for almost billions of dollars. It's insane the amount of money that's been bought.
But there's no patience for, like the Tour Championship is a good example. They want that thing to matter.
Yeah.
And the only thing that they can do to it is just pump money into it.
Yeah.
Like it's
Well, that's
already
event based. I'm saying you're saying like golf in general is now becoming money motivated, And I just think that's like new to us because it's like that's our American way of looking at it, I think.
I just think we're too far down in any sport now to make something matter without money. Like nobody's going to do anything for passion anymore.
Athletes are so put
Then
up
why
on
are we
this
so
pedestal.
surprised it's happening in golf then?
Oh, we're not surprised. It's just like
The way it's happening, I
the
think.
way it's going down is fascinating. I think it's
Yeah.
sudden. I think it's fascinating. I think like the fact that it's a split. There's just never been that before. There's always been multiple soccer leagues.
Yeah.
You know, there's always been multiple teams in Formula One. There's always been multiple teams in the NHL. There hasn't been multiple top golf leagues.
It's just interesting that they're now put in a position where everybody has to evolve and make it more interesting. And it's almost like no good idea is good enough. No idea is better than money.
Yeah.
Right. That's right.
I mean,
So-
I will say, like, what we've done in the States, like the NHL pays more than anybody. Like the NBA pays more than anybody. That's why we get all this incredible
No, I know.
talent. So it's like, in a sense, it's a little bit of a reversal. I think the way that some European teams do it, like I think soccer is maybe the best kind of controller, like of, you know, where players go, how you actually grow teams. Like imagine if the NHL took the soccer model where, you know, who's the Islanders farm system team?
Bridgeport Islanders.
Bridgeport Islanders. They could like raise talent and then again, like in soccer, they get to buy
them, yeah.
and then you can elevate your team and invest more in prospects. And like,
Yeah.
I think that's such an amazing natural model that like if LIV Tour was ever to go that direction where like, you know, you scout a player, we talk about like Chris Gotterup or James Pyatt, and like then you could sell those to the Cracking Aces and then invest more in your own team.
Cracking Aces.
Shout out to Cracking Aces.
Great timing. World Series of Poker Week.
Sure.
Nate
Go get
Dogg
'em.
and Smitty got
Go get
massive
'em, dog.
stacks.
Go
dude.
get them.
Go get them, Nate.
They
Dogg
got
and Smitty.
massive stacks.
200
Nate Dogg's got
yeah.
over 200K.
Go get them.
Insane.
Nate's wearing the mask too.
No, he's not.
I'm pretty sure I saw a picture of that.
I saw a picture of him just like Nate Dogg,
Natural.
like smiling.
I saw a
him
couple
take
pictures.
I saw some stuff.
Smitty, like, yeah, I think he said he put it into perspective. Like Smitty was at like 170 or something like that, and like the highest he had ever gotten in past years was like 115 or 120. And that was on day 3. He's on day 2. So yeah, they're really doing well. I mean, like Nate,
Cracking
even
aces.
more than that. He's in 200.
I saw Nate at 201,000 or
Which is
something.
insane.
That's
this morning.
crazy.
His high goal for that day was 189. He finished with 201.
Go get them, boys.
Cracking Aces.
I
Now
have
I can't even think of what the LIV Tour team's name.
four
Aces.
aces or something. Is
Oh,
it
the
the
four
aces?
aces.
4 Aces.
I had a quick from the gallery that has nothing to do with golf. It was let me read off this hypothetical for you guys real quick. I know we have a tea time to make.
We do.
We're playing
time is it right
Dundonald
now?
today.
It's 40 minutes.
All right, we
tee
got
off.
time. We got time.
We got time.
Yeah, that's no
Time.
problem.
Have you guys showered and everything?
No.
Okay.
No,
But that
that's
takes
still
2
no
minutes.
problem.
Okay.
Okay, so this is the question. You get $10 million right now in your hand, but there's a catch. A snail is chasing you for the rest of your life, and if it touches you, you die a terrible, horrific death. The snail cannot be killed. It knows your location at all times. Its only purpose
No.
in life is to find you. Are you taking the money?
No, not even close.
Sleeping would be tough.
Brutal.
So I've thought about this a long. I didn't get much sleep last night because of this.
Can I? Okay, go ahead.
Well, I want to know what you guys are thinking.
Can I hit the snail with a baseball bat?
It cannot be killed.
No, I know, but like,
You're not-
am I able to get my hands on it like with gloves?
Sure, I'm sure you can like. If it touches you, you die immediately. But I'm sure that you're able to like swoop it away and then like you just make it move further away.
I'll
from
put that
you.
thing on a space shuttle.
Dude, you just can't.
Good.
You better
good,
hope. Yeah, you better hope you fucking get it on
good
there.
strategy.
You just
I'll
don't.
just have somebody else do
Also,
Can't relax.
so here's what I thought.
There's no. It's just an
Unless-
automatic no. For me.
Unless you know the skill set of the snail.
So that's
Like
my
it
point.
moves like at a foot an hour, then you could be like, all right, I'm just gonna like live between like here and China, wherever, like somewhere across the country.
I
the
think
world.
it's skill set.
Now you're
is-
uprooting your entire. You're leaving all your
Right.
family and everybody just because of this snail thing. Who
Oh, the
cares?
snail can kill it.
your life's pretty good right now. Now you're just gonna move to China because of like what are we doing?
Wait, so so I think the only way you take it is if you calculate the speed of the snail, because you know that this snail's intelligent. The snail is intelligent.
Right.
You know it.
We know that?
Yes. In
Well, can you just find
my
it? It's got tractor beams on it.
my interpretation of this snail is that it's very intelligent because number one, it knows that if it touches you, it can kill you. Number two, it knows your location at all times.
It's only mission in life.
And number
is to
three,
kill
its
you.
only mission in life is to touch you and kill you. So it is aware at all moments of where you are. It's very smart. So if you move to China, it's gonna like somehow know you're in China. You have to know.
It's
All
gotta
right,
get
it's
there.
gonna get on a boat. It's gonna fucking get here at some point. I have X amount of years before this snail gets here,
Right.
and then I have to move again.
Right.
And you have to hope that
Or
it's
you
not
just
smart
go back
enough.
home. Like, could I live between here and Florida, and then it's just trapped in the Carolinas? 'Cause
Is
it
the
can't-
snail
No, it
smart
would just wait for you.
Is
What
the
if it's
snail
like he
smart
keeps
enough
moving,
to be
I'm
just
gonna just
waiting
wait
in
for
your
him?
bed in fucking Florida?
Oh, okay. I'm under like the premise that it's basically like constantly moving. And then
It's smart. It's like it's
So
it,
it'll just wait for me in New Jersey when I.
it knows
Maybe.
your location.
You
at all
don't know.
times. You
That's
don't
the
know.
problem. You don't
Oh,
know.
okay. All
You
right.
never know where the
Super
snail
easy.
is.
So I took it as
Super easy for me.
He was always chasing me, always moving.
Well, you would think. Yeah, I mean,
all right,
like,
then I'm not doing that because like then he's just waiting in one of the beds that maybe I'll be
Yeah.
at.
Maybe, but it's
So-
just not
also
worth
so-
it. Have
So I
small-
wasn't taking that. I was thinking that he's constantly chasing me. Is what I thought the question was.
so
Super easy.
let's say you make this deal with this snail
Is it
in
a
New
yes for
York.
Yeah.
It's a yes?
Yeah, because what you do, all right, I take the deal. Boom, $10 million in my account. I pay NASA, some guy, astronaut, $500,000, whatever it's going to take the snail, put it on the International Space Station, and then it's just up there, and I know that it's up there.
What if it just comes back?
Yeah,
and
you
don't
have
know?
like you
Why
don't.
do you-
It's a snail, so what if it gets on one of the capsules that comes down? There's always that thought. It's an intelligent.
I'm going to
fucking
have them
snail.
put it in a case up there, and they're just going to look at it. There's always people up there at the International Space Station. Wake up in the morning, Trent, they get on their space
Okay.
phone. The snail is here. Be like, all right, I'm going to have a good day.
Or you pay a guy like $100,000 a year and he just watches the snail.
Done. Yeah, put it in a crate.
What if that guy just like falls asleep one day?
Right.
I mean, now you have a snail that just kills you. You die a horrific death for no
All right,
reason.
my astronaut
thinking
falls
about it all
asleep.
the time.
Now the snail's got to figure out how to get down here. Good luck, snail.
The other
I don't-
part is like there's a lot of things out there trying to kill you every single day that we just don't think about. The snail could just be one of them. You know what I mean? So like you have to kind of sleep on that.
Yeah, I
thought,
think
where
it's a no
like,
for me.
Fucking Lurch's heart tries to kill him every single night. Like it's just
Yeah. Right.
like it is what it
It's
is.
just another thing.
You know what I mean?
Don't say that, but yeah.
Well, I'm saying, yeah.
Yeah, you know what I mean? Don't say that.
Okay, sorry about that.
That's just would
Trying to
be
relax
such
and play some
anxiety.
golf in Scotland, you know what I mean? I almost want to break your ankle off right now.
I'm on
you
a-
just take that little
I'm on a no.
toothpick and just snap it off. Go on with my very day.
I'm on a beach. My snail's in space. I'm good.
I'm not taking the money.
Me neither. It's just too much stress, too much.
It's
panic.
too much stress.
Do
dude.
I get all right? Do I get 40 million if I have 4 snails and I put them all
Yeah.
in space? All
Yeah.
right, I'll take your guys.
You can't get him
Well,
in
it's some
space.
certain number.
Why?
Because that's insane.
Oh,
are you gonna-
this we got a smart snail chase me down, and now we're talking about things that are insane.
This is the Game of Thrones.
Give me a
It's like,
fucking
look
break.
where we're at.
Give me a fucking break.
All right, we got golf to go play.
Yep.
Dundonald.
Dundonald.
The Donald Link. So we got golf to go play. We'll be back. We got Scottish Open this week, so we'll talk about that. We'll talk about the trip. We'll be back on Tuesday.
At
It'll
one
be-
point, we'll talk about Joey LaCava.
We're definitely going to talk about how we have played golf twice with Joey LaCava
We
in
keep
the last
teasing at the end of every episode.
I like that.
We'll
I
talk
like that.
about
It's a
it.
continuous tease. We got Open Championship next week, so when we come back on Tuesday, we'll have all that to break down.
heart's
We'll
fine.
be in St. Andrews. We'll have been there for 4 or 5 days. Hit it
It's a
hard.
Michael
Hit it
Scott
hard.
PR room said heart's fine, so we're good. Hit it hard.
show. Hit it hard.